Hey, it's Kev Desecrator from Venefixion, Sépulcre, and Deströyer 666. I see you at the Tampa Morgue.
What's up? This is Tony, and you're listening to the Tampa Morgue, episode 118, season 3. And as always, from his studio deep in the carcass of Tampa Bay, Florida, Mr. Ed Webb. What's up, Webb?
Mr. Anderson, what's going on, brother?
Episode 118. Besides that, man, just running through the hamster wheel we call life. Besides that, man, not much. How about you?
Same. Just getting ready for Christmas. Can't believe it's less than 2 weeks away.
Yeah, it's and actually you have been kind of busy because which we'll talk about on the next episode a little bit more, and maybe we'll play something from the old discography of the band, but some Contorted news, man, for you. Which
Yes.
is, whoever doesn't know, Ed was in a band called Contorted for many years.
Many years. Yep. It was a band me, Pete Sykes and Jim Coker formed on the dismantling of Brutality. We were in Brutality, and Jeff and Scott decided to go a different way, or we parted ways. I don't know. It's so long ago, I don't remember, I don't care. But we decided to form a band. We called it Contorted, and yeah, we definitely made something different. It was a good band. I mean, we did it from 1997. I left in 2008. So 11 years of, you know, making music.
And now they are back, which, we'll talk about more next week. Like tonight, we're kind of going to be moving pretty fast tonight because we have a guest coming on tonight. Like usual, we actually opened up the show with Sepulcre-Relics from the Unearthly Cult from the Cursed Ways of Sheol EP. And we're actually going to have Kev Desecrator on tonight from the band. Kev's also the drummer in Deströyer 666. He's also in Venefixion and Profanation. He's going to be joining us. So he's going to come on here in about probably like 15 minutes. So we're going to kind of do the show a little faster than we usually do it tonight. We're not really going to do many releases. We're going to mention a few that I had from Head Split Records. We're going to do the promo for Dave Allison's Tampa Bay Museum of Metal, which me and Ed will be at in February. And we're gonna, and then next week we'll kind of get back to our normal programming. We have next week we have Gene coming on from Perdition Temple, Angel Corpse, Malefic Throne. So he'll be on the show, and we'll have more time to do the show next week. So this week, like I said, we're kind of moving a little fast this evening, but yeah, Ed, man, it's been like you said, it's been kind of crazy around here. We had some technical difficulties going on this last week, which is pretty normal for us. You just don't nobody has to see it but us. But you know,
A
I'm
little
excited for
frustrating.
tonight's show. Yeah, frustrating, but as is everything else in the world. So it's we're glad to be here tonight to get away from all that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight's guest, man. Another
Another
guy
first.
who's yeah, another
Another
first.
first.
Yeah, he's never done an interview in audio before. It's not his thing really, so I appreciate him giving us his time and coming on here. The guy's been involved with many bands, which we'll talk about tonight. He's also the drummer, as I mentioned, of Deströyer 666. Caught them a couple years ago in Vilnius, Lithuania, when they played with Unleashed. It was an amazing show. Big fan of the band. Killer drummer, also is a bassist, guitar player, does vocals, multi-musician kind of guy. So he's going to be joining us here very soon. So, like I said, tonight we're going to go a little faster than usual. We will mention some shows before we bring him on. And yeah, Ed, I mean, I don't know. What do you want to do first tonight? Do you want to play the Death Metal Dave promo and then do a couple releases we have from Head Split, go over shows and then get Kev Desecrator on?
Yep. We can save the banter for next week after when we get Gene on, because
Yeah, and Ed, we'll play some old Contorted next week too, man, if you want.
yeah, that's fine. I mean,
You
it's
know.
definitely came out of left field. So was not expected, was not, something I planned. It just saw a picture of three dudes, and you saw it too on Facebook. I liked the post, and I had talked to Pete a while back. I think when we played with Nasty Savage, we took a picture, and people were like, "Oh," and it was
Yeah,
like,
because
it's just a picture, guys. It wasn't, but we talked, a long time ago that, hey, if we ever do it, we should think about it, because I get asked all the time, because we might not have been huge, but it's something that people always ask. They
and
always
those who
ask
don't
me.
know, Jim and Pete are obviously a Nasty Savage too.
Yep.
So it's gonna be like one of those bands where obviously you guys aren't gonna be touring and stuff like that, right? But it's
No,
gonna be do some
no, just
shows, make
just
another
something to
record.
do, man. I mean, we just had a practice the other last. We got together. I just figured, like I told you, we'll see what happens. And when we got in there, it was kind of mind blowing how much I remembered and came right back, because as we know, I don't even know what a bass guitar is anymore. The running joke, but yeah, it felt comfortable. There was actually songs that I completely didn't even remember existed, and I just started playing them. And Pete couldn't. He was like, "Dude, I forgot all about that." So yeah, I mean, there's some stuff we never recorded. So who knows, man? We don't know. I mean, we'll talk more about it next week. But yeah, supposed to meet up with those guys tomorrow. It'll be like the second jam, so we'll see it'll be more interesting next week after tomorrow, because if it progresses, then we'll know.
Yeah, so we'll play some of that next week. I know we're going to play, I've been talking to, which I'll talk about more next week. We're playing some black metal from Finland. We have a band that we're trying to get one of the guys in the band on the show, so I don't want to mention it yet until it's all figured out, but we're going to play some music from them next week and stuff. This week, we're going to be kind of speeding through. And again, anybody who listens to us, we do appreciate it. Last week, we had Tony Thomas on from Witch Vomit and Torture Rack. Killer episode. Week before that, we had W. Horror Preacher on from Vomit Angel and Mask of Satan and Witches Hollow. So yeah, we've been busy around here, and like I said, we have some guests we're talking to now. But as we said last week, we're not going to announce it until it's confirmed.
And I should be able to. I'm going to find out tonight. I'm going to try to find out a more accurate time frame that I can start releasing some monstrosity news.
Yes,
so that because it's been asked about, and I'm tired of just not having an answer. So I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna have to choke somebody out, or get some. Get Angry Ed's gonna have to rise up to get some answers. But I will, because there are a lot of things going on.
New album coming out.
Some new album coming out.
Stuff, yeah.
Some other stuff happening, and I can tell you for sure that the song is dropping after the first of the year. So the first song, and there's stuff following with it. So I will hopefully
you may hear
by
it
next
first
week.
here. So
You don't say may. You will. You will.
You will. It's
will.
like the guest, man. I don't want to say it
Yeah,
until it's
I will say you
confirmed,
will. You will, because if not, I might not sing in the band anymore. So I'm just saying. Just kidding.
we will world premiere the new Monstrosity song on this show. So keep up to date, and we'll let you know about that. And yeah, man, what we can confirm is tonight we'll be joined again by Kev Desecrator here and very soon. We've had a lot of Invictus bands on here between Necromaniac. We had Ed from Negative Plane on here. Magnus from Aberration, and then we had Rob from Lucifericon, Deströyer 666, a great label, Invictus. Yeah, and again tonight another band with Sépulcre, who is also on Invictus. So anybody hasn't checked out that label, man, I got to say, killer label, killer bands. But another Invictus band will be on tonight. So Ed, I say we run the Death Metal Dave promo. Before that, we're going to play a track. We're going to play some Deströyer 666 before that, and then we're going to get to our guest, Kev Desecrator. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to play here. Let me make sure I got everything chimed up right. We're going to play Deströyer 666 Savage Rites from the Never Surrender record. Then we'll play the ad for the Tampa Bay Museum of Metal. We'll go over a few shows we have, and then we're going to get Kev Desecrator on. So let the show begin. This is Deströyer 666 with Savage Rites off the Never Surrender record that came out on Season of Mist 2022. We'll be back on the Tampa Morgue after this track.
In your face.
Tyrants, go on, my slayer, man inside. Tampa Morgue listeners. This is Death Metal Dave from the Tampa Bay Museum of Metal. And I'd like to ask you to join us on February the 7th at Magnanimous Brewery, Seminole Heights, where we're going to have a killer display of Florida metal history. Backdrops, guitars, drums, clothing, you name it, we're going to have it. And it's pretty freaking cool, man. Come out and support the metal and drink our Tampa Bay Museum of Metal beer. And always listen to Tampa Morgue with Tony and Ed. It's just Death Metal Dave. In your face.
And that was Dave Allison, a.k.a. Death Metal Dave from the Tampa Bay Museum of Metal. For more information, visit www.tampabaymuseumofmetal.com. There you will find all the Tampa Bay and Florida metal history that dates back to 1982 and takes you to the current day. If you're in the Tampa Bay area in February, stop by the museum. Should be a good time. Me and Ed will be hanging out there. Prior to that, we played some Deströyer 666, Savage Rights from the Never Surrender record that came out on Season of Mist in 2022. And we'll be joined by Kev Desecrator here in about 10 minutes. We're kind of on a time crunch tonight, so we're going to move a little fast through this. But if you are new to the show, we appreciate you checking it out. This is our third season. This is episode 118. If you are new, you can go back and listen to all of our past interviews. On Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts. If you want to contact us, feel free to email us at thetampamorgue@gmail.com. We will reply. But like I said, if you want to go back and listen to past interviews, you can go back, and we've had interviews with guys like Chris Volcano from Abominator, ex-Deströyer 666, Cemetery Urn, and Denouncement Pyre. We had Pat from Hellwitch, Bobby G of Overkill, Vincent Crowley of Asheron and the Vincent Crowley Band. He appeared on here twice, episode 6 and episode 108. Lord Araman from Dark Funeral, Sergeant Salston from Deathhammer, Adam from Cardiac Arrest, Ritual Butcher of Finland's Arc Goat. Speaking of Finland, we had Morgul on the show also. Also Harry Quokinen from Hooded Menace, Hail Conjurer. Blaine Cook of The Accused was on the show. Dave Austin of Nasty Savage. A few weeks ago, we had Nasty Ronnie on the show. Again, that's like basically taking a time machine in Tampa Bay history right there. He was on for 4 hours. John Gallagher of Raven, Paul Speckman of Master, Deathstrike, Abomination, and Cadaveric Poison, Anti, a.k.a. Necroterror from Cadaveric Incubator, ex-Slugother, and Satanic War Master, Yarno of Finland's Urn, Graves, and ex-Barathrum, Chris Reifert we had on here, Autopsy, Eat My Fuck, Abscess, and Violation Wound. Chris is a legend. It was a great episode. Yano of Anal Vomit, Columbia's Witch Trap. We had Udo from Accept on the show, Snowy Shaw from King Diamond and Merciful Fate, King Fally from Deceased on October 31, Dawn of the Dead from Nunslaughter and Satanic Threat, Mangus from Aberration and Mayans Hill. We had Jeff Manis from Venom on for 5 hours, who takes you through a very deep dive of Venom's history. Tony Dolan of Venom and Venom Inc. and Adam Craft. We had Terry Butler from 6 Feet Under, Death, Obituary, Massacre, Inhuman Condition, and Denial Fiend. He takes us again, another Tampa Bay history-rich episode. Jim and Pat from Morbid Saint. Kyle Thomas from X-Hoarder, Trouble, and Floodgate. We had Ed Miller from Negative Plane on the show. Dallas Toller Wade from Nile, Narcotic Wasteland. He was on a few times. Vietnam's Blood Serpent. We had Jamie Bailey from Brodequin. We had Lee Payne from Club and Hoof on the show. Gene from Angel Corpse, Perdition Temple, and Malefic Throne. He'll also be back on next week, but if you want to hear about all his history, he was on probably last year, I believe it was. Henry from God Dethroned, Glenn Destructor from Australia's Destructor, Eric from Goat Seaman out of Peru, Alessio from Violenter and Hobbs Angel of Death was on the show. We had Necromaniac on episode 112. Lord Sabathan from Slaughter Messiah, Enthroned in Morbid Death. John Berry from Slaughter Messiah and Ancient Rites, he was on the show. John Walker of Cancer we had on here. We had Phantom from Mexico. We had Ronnie Palmer from Malevolent Creation and Jesse Jolly from Malevolent Creation on the show. We had Luisma from Hemorrhage and Depopulation Department on here. Rob from Lucifericon and Ex-Deströyer 666 on the show. I know Lucifericon has a new record in the works, actually. Luciferian Rights out of Mexico we had on here. We had the guys from Disaster on here. We had Daniel Avenger from Nocturnal, Angel of Damnation, and Black Priest of Satan on the show. And we've had many more guests besides that. So you can go back and check all those old episodes out. We are going to kind of move a little faster this process tonight in this beginning of the show. And I am going to announce a few releases from Headsplit Records that I'm going to get to shows, and then we're going to get to our guest. But from Headsplit Records, these are all available now. You can go visit www.headsplitrecords.com. The Hemorrhoid Cadaveric Incubator 7-inch split is available. Then also Blisterous Grotesque Prosection, a CD, cassette, and 7-inch, some gore grind death metal from Finland. And then Septic Fumes has put out a 7-inch called Mucilingus. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Ultra brutal death metal gore band right there. You can pick that up from Headsplit Records. And then we have Mangled Mesh just put out a CD and cassette. Feastiality, a death gore grind from California. And last but not least, Ectopic Pregnancy discography CD, Hyperblasting Washington gore grind, and that is again available at www.headsplitrecords.com. And they also have a new zine and newsletter out. You can find all the information at that webpage. And Ed, before we get Kev Desecrator on, because I see he is ready to come on the show, I'm going to announce a few shows, and then we'll see what you have. I only have a few because we'll be on next week again with Gene from Perdition Temple and Angel Corpse and stuff. So, but what I am going to announce tonight is December 12th, Agnostic Front, Raw Brigade, and Violent Way. They're playing in Melbourne at Pineapple's Moon Room. And then December 13th in Miami at Gramps. And then December 15th in Jacksonville at Albatross. I have that. And December 12th, I Hate God is playing in Fort Walton Beach at Downtown Music. And then December 13th, I Hate God is playing in Fort Pierce at Gadihara, which I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. And then only other thing I have is December 18th, Weed Eater, The Goddamn Gallows, and Bronco in Panama City, Florida. And that's what I have for shows. What about you?
Well, it seems the 12th and the 13th seem to be popular in Florida.
Yeah.
Because the 12th tonight, actually, at the Brass Mug is DRI, which we've had the opportunity to play with DRI many times.
I always say I think they're every year. That's a band that in Tampa, every year they play.
And which is good, because that means they're just keeping it alive, man. You know, because DRI is one of those bands that you just don't get tired of them. You know what I mean? It's weird. I don't listen to them all the time, but every now and then when I listen to them, it brings me back to the old days when I was a kid, you know, listening to them, how raw, just, you know, they were the first crossover band. I truly believe like they crossed over between hardcore, punk, and metal. I think they
still
were
sound
one of the
good
first
too when you see them live. I mean,
sure. Yeah. Kirk still sounds great, man. And Spike is just, remember he was dealing with cancer and he fucking, you know, so they definitely kept it alive. And then the 12th in Miami at Gramps, which is crazy because you said the 13th was Agnostic Front. You get to see Obituary. And that's a treat, because anybody who's ever seen Obituary knows you get what you pay for sure. I mean, they put on I've never seen a bad Obituary show.
Same here,
honestly,
yeah.
I can.
We've played with them several times. We know. I mean, they're always killing.
They are one of the hardest working, tightest fucking bands. Like honestly, like I toured with them for 6 weeks, and every single night they sounded the same. They sounded amazing. John is one of said it a million times, man. He is probably the best death metal singer. John has one of those voices that is just hard to imitate, man. It just really is. I've tried 100 times and it's just very hard.
And they're great guys. I mean, you know, obviously you've been on a bus with them touring and stuff, and I know them from, you know, from many years in Tampa and stuff, and just good people. You know?
Well, just inside and out, because, you know, even with Terry, when I was doing Massacre, they were always so supportive of everything. You know, like you talk to them and they're not the ones going, oh man, this guy's my bass player's in another band, like taken away. They were like always given opportunities, you know. So yeah, definitely good guys. So yeah, they're playing Gramps on the 12th, and then the 13th and 14th at the Brass Mug in Tampa, which are unfortunately they're sold out. So if you want to go, too bad anyway. But you might be able to scalp tickets for about $350.
Yeah, they are sold out at the Mug. It's always packed. We always say, when you see it in Tampa, for whoever doesn't live there, Cannibal and Obituary, if you ever go see them there, it's fucking packed always, you
Yep.
know what I mean? So just the way it
There's
goes.
there's a handful of bands that can play that every time they come, you are 100% destined to leave there looking like somebody poured buckets of water over you because it's going to be hot, it's going to be sweaty, it's going to be disgusting because it's going to be packed. And it's going to be
Exactly.
cool this weekend too. So, you know, that's a plus because there's nothing like being in the summer heat and then being in the brass mug during the summer. That
We know.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lived it, man. That
Yep.
Exodus show. I always bring up the Exodus show, man. That was
Hottest show I've ever played in my life.
Yep, that and Vader, I think were the
Yeah.
two for me. But yeah, that's my shows for the coming week that I have.
Great, man. And again, you know, everybody tonight we're kind of moving a little fast because we want to get Kev on here. So we're going to do that now, actually. And yeah, again, you know, obviously Kev Desecrator plays in several bands, as I mentioned earlier. One being Deströyer 666, which I always say, you know, I tell Ed this on the side, whoever I talk to, I said, man, when you go see Deströyer 666, you feel like you're getting the real deal. Like it's no, like, you know, it just has that vibe to it. And, takes me back to when I was growing up and, you know, back in the old days when you felt like there was danger and stuff. So looking forward to talk to him. Sepulchre's a killer band. You know, we opened up the show obviously with them. And we're going to talk about all his projects. So let's get him on here. But first, I'm going to play one of his other bands, Venefixion. We're going to play Nocturnal Deceit off the Anointed in Nazarene Blood EP that came out on February 24th, 2025. And after that, we'll talk to Kev Desecrator, man, for his first audio interview ever. So you ready, Ed?
Bring it.
This is Venefixion with Nocturnal Deceit. We'll be back on the morgue after this track.
Whispering, you know you spoke of sin.
that was Venefixion with Nocturnal Deceit from the Anointed in Nazarene Blood EP that came out February 24th, 2025. And we are joined by a man of many bands, actually. Kev Desecrator of Sépulcre, of Deströyer 666, Venefixion, Profanation, and a bunch of others that we're going to talk to him tonight about. But Kev, man, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for the invitation, mate. Thank you.
And is this the first audio interview you ever have done?
Yeah, it's the first. I'm not really comfortable with audio interview, but like my bandmate kind of convinced me to do it. So like let's see.
Yeah, you're jumping in deep, man, because this is a pretty deep show. So your first one is but yeah, dude, I saw you play, man, which was a fucking great show, and Ed will tell you.
You told me that in Lithuania 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm a big Deströyer fan. You guys played with Nocturnal Mortem, Unleash, and Asagrom in Vilnius, Lithuania. It was a great show, man. Yeah, Winter Wolves Fest.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it was great, and that was like 2 years ago, so we'll talk about all that, man. But dude, again, man, we appreciate you giving us your time, and we'll start out, before we even get to your history, I do want to mention, we mentioned Deströyer 666, and you guys just played your final show of the year at the Abyss Festival in Gothenburg.
Yeah. We played Abyss Festival, and the day after we played in a Brain Crusher in Germany. So yeah, but it was the 2 last show of the year, and yeah.
How was the festivals for you?
It was very cool. Yeah. Oh, good. Very killer band, like especially in the Abyss Festival. Absu were playing.
Possessed played, right?
Yeah, Possessed, but we missed Possessed because like they played like on the Saturday and went to leave to play in Germany. But yeah, killer festival, killer hang with friend, killer show. Like yeah, what can you ask more?
And you guys headlined the Thursday, right? Of that?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. No. Absu headline. We played just before Absu.
We'll talk about Deströyer and all your other bands, but I will start out, man, how we always start on this show. We start out before the bands. And first of all, man, what part of France were you born in?
I'm born in Brest, so it's like extreme west of France, like Brittany, like the area. Yeah. It's like you cannot go more west. Like it's really like just at the point, like the extreme west. And yeah, I'm born there, so like pretty far from any big city where things happen. But yeah, I like it.
And like we told you before you came on, man, you can always answer what you want, and don't have to answer what you don't want. But what year were you born, if you don't mind telling us?
1986.
Okay, you're younger than us. Okay.
Yeah.
And do you remember the first, and we're talking pre-metal, do you remember the first piece of music or band that caught your attention as a kid, whether it be like a child song or something on the radio?
I think like there was always a lot of music at my parents' place. I mean, my parents they didn't play music, but like they really like music. So I don't have like a remembrance of a exact song, but when I was a kid, like they were listening to a lot of blues, rock, hard rock, like I don't know, George Thorogood, Guns N' Roses, AC/DC, Scorpion, this kind of stuff. I don't know. And also my uncle, who was a blues musician. So yeah, always music around. Yeah.
Do you remember the first record or tape or CD? I fear 86, you're probably maybe records or CDs, the first purchased on your own?
Yeah, it was a CD. Like yeah, at the time, like it was CD. I think to be honest, the first CD I got was like a Nirvana CD. Like I was like maybe I don't know 7 or something, 8. But the first CD like really like kind of changed my life was Ride the Lightning from Metallica. My parents were like 2 friends, like we were big fan of music, like listening to a lot of stuff, like a lot of record that they played and stuff. And they came to me and they said like, "Oh, it's too extreme for me. Like, do you want that?" I was like, "Yeah." And I put it on, and like I think I was 9, and I think like I didn't realize at the time, but it just changed my life. Like because I didn't know what was like thrash metal or death metal or whatever. Like before it was Nirvana, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, but like I don't know, you just changed everything for me. I kind of knew like it was for life. Like
Did you have a selection? Obviously, I know you're not from the big city area, but did you guys have like record stores around you, or where were you getting your music at growing up?
when I was a teenager, so in Brest we had like record store we were going, but like was not a independent one. It was kind of middle side. Like no, it was still I think there was a few of this franchise in France. So it was kind of a big thing, but like that's where I found like like my CDs when I was a teenager. Like when I bought my first t-shirts there as well, like Cannibal Corpse shirts and kind of stuff. Like so yeah,
Do you remember the first metal shirt you got?
I think it was the Cannibal Corpse. Yeah, the first one I got when I was a teenager. Like
What is the first show you ever went to, and what's the first extreme show you ever went to?
actually, funny thing, like the first show I went to, like I don't remember it, but my parents told me was my uncle. Like he was I told you he was a blues musician. And they told me like my parents they would bring me into a like a box. They bring me to the show, but when I was a baby, like And I think nowadays like babies are overprotected. Like I mean, if you tell this story, like very thing like oh you're bad parents or whatever. But yeah, at the time like it was more like it was they didn't like think about that. Like they were a pretty good parents, but they just like it was more like cool, more relaxed at the time, I guess. So they were bringing me to this blues show when I was a little baby. So like I don't know, maybe it like kind of have an impact of the on the following of events. I don't know, but I don't remember it. But yeah, otherwise like the first like kind of metal show I remember going to was it was a neo metal show actually. It was it was a shit band from France called Mass Hysteria. But I think my father saw it in a newspaper or something. Oh, there's a metal show happening. Do you want to come with me? I was like, yeah, whatever. And like no, I didn't like the music, but I like the energy like of it, like But it was like maybe when I was 12, so like yeah, it was more like I knew Metallica and stuff, but I didn't know like all the difference between the gender and everything. Yeah, that's it. But not yeah, not very exciting.
Did you have a lot of venues in your town where you grew up at?
Uh, yeah, not really actually. As I told you, like Brest, like is it's pretty remote uh city, and it's so far. Like there's not many tour like passing through. You cannot pass through the town. Like you have to go like way way west until the other side if you want to go back. So like you cannot pass just through town. So like that's why like there's not many tour up like going to town. So I had if I wanted to see show, I had to go to Rennes. Like it's more close to where I live now. It's a bigger city, and but like I couldn't go like until I was close to 17 because I didn't have a car. Like it's a 2 hours ride. But yeah, in Rennes, like when I was 17, 18, I could see like Morbid Angel, Cannibal Corpse, Decide. This kind of band, like these two were stopping at in Rennes. Yeah, before that, like not I didn't see so many shows before.
And you mentioned Deicide and Cannibal Corpse and stuff, and obviously, we're called the Tampa Morgue, and me and Ed spent many years in Tampa. Were you a fan of the Florida bands growing up?
Yeah, of course. Like actually, uh, first death metal band that I listened were like a Floridian death metal. Like was yeah, Decide. I think Decide was the first death metal band I listened to, followed by Cannibal Corpse and Obituary. But yeah, of course.
And you're a multi-talented guy. You play guitar, bass, drums, you do vocals. What was the first instrument you picked up, and are you self-taught?
My first instrument was a guitar. I think I was 12. Was I got like like a acoustic guitar for Christmas, and I think for 1 year I did like the basic lesson, like just to do some chords and stuff with acoustic guitar. But after a year, like I was like, no, I want to play metal, like so I wanted to have an electric guitar. So I think the following Christmas I had my first electric guitar, and after that I never had some other lesson. Like it just like learned by just like listening to record and that's it. Like so yeah, just 1 year of acoustic lesson, and the rest was just self-taught. And so we did our so yeah, I think really like the thing that make me like progress in guitar was like actually to play on the Ramones, like like or just like playing fast and like playing chords, like after like I think it was Kill 'Em All from Metallica, like made me really learn like a metal guitar, like a rhythm metal guitar. And after we had with my best friend, we had some kind of band, but like nothing serious. Like we were just trying to play music. And like we had a drummer, and we were racing at my parents' place because we were living in a countryside. And we had a drummer, like, but the drummer like bring his drum kit at the rehearsal place, and just once, and after he vanished for months, like he never showed up. So with my friend, like I was like, okay, we try to play drums. That's all, like like I start playing drums, and for drums I never took lesson, but just like same listening to record and like trying stuff. And like eventually, like the guy showed up like a few months later, and like he took back his drum kit. But I could at least like I could have seen, I could see like I could play drums kind of. And yeah, but it took me a long time to see myself as a drummer. Like for me, I was just like walking around on the drums, like but nothing serious until it became more serious. But like at the beginning, it was yeah, just me walking around on the drums.
What's your preferred instrument? Is drums your number one, or you, or is it guitar, would you say?
To be honest, I cannot tell, like because it's both are so complementary. Because as you know, I'm I write music most of, so like if I write a riff, like directly I saw the drums on it, like that's it. How it will go with the drum and stuff. So yeah, it's really both are really complementary for me. Like I like both actually. Like,
When do you start, like, hanging out with, like, obviously, all of us start hanging out with the other, I don't know what you call metalheads or the other people with the same interest as you. When do you start noticing that happening in your life?
it was in I think it was in high school, but I don't know what's the equivalent of I was like 13, something like that. Yeah, it was. Yes, it was at the time I begin to learn to play guitar. Yeah, I had like one or two guys like listening to metal like me, but
And were your parents supportive of what
yeah,
early
my
on?
parents were always supportive like of me playing music. As I told you, like they are not they didn't play music, but they were a huge fan of music. So and my dad like I think he regret like he never stopped an instrument. So like he was very happy like I played.
And you mentioned, jamming with your friends. Now, was that so your first band, was it Sudden Death or Under the Abyss? Or was it
My first band was actually I had even another band before Sudden Death, but it was like yeah, nothing worth mentioning. It was not even a band, like we're trying stuff, but yeah, my first like I won't say serious because looking at it now we were not even serious, but like first band when we tried to do something like and we record stuff and everything, but Sudden Death was like pretty bad death thrash, but like yeah, we had fun.
and you mentioned recording, that was the 5-song demo, Unholy Sword, you guys did?
Yeah, yeah, but like it's really really bad. But I mean like was yeah 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 that's it.
Where did you record that at? Did you guys record that yourselves in the jam room?
Yeah, we recorded in the drum room we had at my parents' place. Yeah, the guy came like with his equipment and we recorded.
And do you guys do any shows or no?
Yeah, just local shows around, but like yeah, nothing really important.
Do you remember the first show you ever played?
Yeah, actually, my first show, it was my previous band. Actually, it was called Wank. Don't ask me why. I don't even know. Don't remember why it was called this way. Yeah, I think we were 14, and we played at kind of contest of the band thing, like and of course we ended up last because we were just shit. But we were like we were saying, "Oh, the jury fucking suck," like like we should have been first, like like we didn't. We thought we were awesome, but we were shit. So that was that's it.
And you also, what, 2006, there was another band, Legion, Mortifier that you played with?
Yeah, actually, for 1 year, I went to do some studies like sound studies, like more in Saint-Brieuc. It's a town like 1 hour from Brest. And so just during this year, like I met some guy. They had like a black metal project. So basically, it was just like to help them for a year while I was living in this town, and that's it. Like we did no, it was pretty cool. Like kind of really fast black metal, lot of blast beat. Yeah, just like it was just a short for a short time, and I think they broke it after that.
And you guys didn't record any demos or anything?
They record some demo, but like with a drum machine. I never played on a record.
And next, you joined the black metal band Abnorm in 2007 as a guitarist?
Yeah, actually, that was kind of my first band. Like I really like write my own music. Yeah, because like before was just like we kind of I didn't know what I wanted. Just like we were a bunch of friends, like, no real direction, like whatever. But this band was the first one where I wrote most of the music and like yeah, I did like what I really wanted to. So yeah, and so yeah, it was me like who create the band with two guys I met like somewhere at the shows and something.
Thomas and Antoine?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah, you know better than me. Like I forgot all these things.
There's, so Laureen, Thomas, and Antoine, and you guys did record 2009 Schemes of Hateful Denial, a demo, 4 tracks. Was that recorded at your place also? Your parents' house?
Yeah, exactly. That was a record at my parents' place, and yes, Schemes of Hate and Denial. And but at the time, like we didn't know anything about label or whatever, so we just like we burned some CD and like did like a layout or just like give it to friends. And like at the time we did a MySpace, and I think on MySpace like a guy from Nihilistic Holocaust label from France, he he liked it, so he proposed to do like to use it to do like a split with the Necros, another band from France. They're not active now, but like they're pretty good band, like kind of incantation, immolation style. So we did like a split, and I think it worked pretty well for the underground. Like it's been spread around like pretty well. And we did some shows here and there, like locally. Yeah. After that, like nothing serious.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna play a song from that split actually here in a second, and that split you're talking about, that was just the demo, right? It was the same
Yeah, actually,
recording that was on
it's
the
a
split.
demo. Yeah, it has been used as a one side of the split with Necros.
You guys replaced the bassist, right? Antoine left, you guys got Nico in the band, and then
Yeah.
2010, until the band's demise, you took over vocals was that the first time doing vocals for you?
Yeah. Yeah, it was the first time actually. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is Abnorm with the Dead End Path Passenger from the split with Necros, also from the demo from 2009 that came out on Nihilistic Holocaust Records out of France, and we'll be right back with Kev Desecrator after this track on the Tampa Morgue. That was Abnorm with the Dead End Path Passenger. That band ends. And in 2010, you're also doing drums for Australia's Trench Hell. How'd you get involved with that?
Actually, like it was as I mentioned, like it was at the time MySpace was a big thing, like to discover band, and to put your music online. And I think I was following Trenchell, and I saw they were looking for a drummer for their European tour, and I contact them, and so they asked me to film me myself like playing one of their songs on drum, and that's it. I got the job like that. That kind of I'd say that like I don't I don't I don't like to use the word career because like I don't have a career or whatever, but I often say like this was like this kind of the start of like my journey, like like as a musician, like because it was my first show abroad outside of France, like meeting a lot of friends. Actually, I met Darak from Invictus on this tour. So like
Yeah.
a lot of friends that I still have now, like so like all the connection, like it starts like with this first experience with the Trenchel. So yeah,
Yeah, we actually have a decent amount of Invictus bands on here, which we'll talk about. Obviously, your new record's coming out on Invictus, which we'll get to. And then in 2009, you also put together a thrash black metal band called Perversifier, and
yeah,
that's at first that's a solo project, right at the
yeah,
beginning.
exactly. Yeah, because like after Abnorm, that also why the band stopped is what it was like because obviously I was writing all the music. And like the other guy, like they were kind just of no, the drummer while doing the lyrics, but like the music. So I just tell the guy like to play like what I was writing. But still, you need to have like people who really understand the music, but also understand the essence of this music. And they were very good musicians. And they liked like the music I was writing, but they didn't know anything about like all metal, like incantation, whatever, like like the core of like what I was trying to do, like So I kind of I got like was tired of that, like I didn't find any musician with the same view as me. So I thought like, oh fuck it, like we just like do like a solo project, like just so I'm the only guy, like so that's it, And yeah, and after with some I think it was still MySpace. Like I met some guy from Rennes, the bigger town, like 2 hours from where I was living, and we began to talk with some guy from Rennes, and like we had the same taste in music and stuff, and like they like this first demo I did with Perversifier, and we began to talk about like doing like live, like working for to do like a live show. And yeah, that's it. But yeah, it was people from Rennes, so 2 hours drive from where I was living at the time. So yeah, to find people like on the same level of, I mean, the same view as me. Like I had to find like this people like 2 hours from where I was living because it was kind of, yeah, it was dead. Like where I was living, like no proper old school metal fans.
And you mentioned that demo. That was the 7-song demo in 2009, Thrash and Black Assault. You had a Venom cover on there of black metal. Um, Came out on Devil's Blood Productions, and the artwork on that was done by Dennis Thomas, who did artwork for Suffocation and Impaled, Baphomet.
Yeah, I don't even. I think I just found this artist in MySpace at the time. I contacted him, and yeah, he did the artwork for it.
You also put out a three-way split with Hell Torment out of Peru, and then Guerrilla Total out of Colombia.
Yep,
Did a creator cover on that also in 2010.
yep.
And then you also 2012, you also play guitars in a black speed punk metal band called Deathless Bastards.
Yeah, that that was another band I had like I put together like yeah 2 years after Classifier. Yeah, as I told you, like there was I didn't find any guy like in the metal with the same taste of me, like in metal, like next where I was living. But I met some guys more coming from the punk scene, but still, people listen to punk, like we have a lot in common, like band like Discharge, like like influenced like so many band into in the metal and stuff. So we decided to do like kind of mix of metal and punk, and did like we did this band, and yeah, it was cool things to do as well.
You guys put out a self-titled demo, 4 tracks, you put out that, and then you also involved in a split that came out on the French label Symphony of Destruction. Was that your first time appearing on vinyl?
No, actually, my first time was Perversifier. We did an album. I think it was 2012 as well. We did an album called Perverting the Masses on a Forgotten Wisdom production, French label.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna play a track from that here in a minute.
So that was the
and
first time on vinyl with this one.
and for you, man, like, are you, do you have a preference? I know you're born in the '80s and stuff. Were you more of a, like, vinyl or CD kinda guy, or it doesn't matter either way to you?
I started with CD, as I told you, because like it was like the thing, like we had like when I started buying music. I started pretty late with LP, like maybe 2010. I start like buying LP, and now I prefer LP, of course. But, it's so expensive now. Like
Totally.
I'm kind of like if I have the record, like even in CD, like as long as I have it in my collection, like I'm happy. Like so yeah.
Yeah, you're correct because you think about it, like, these days, if you buy a record, especially if you buy it online, by the end of the day, by the time you're done paying for it, it's like $50 at least minimal, with
Yeah,
shipping and
exactly. But with the posting and everything, like it's so expensive now.
yeah, customs and everything,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, so Deathless Bastards, though, you also did a cover of, Gigi Allen's Die When You Die
yeah,
in
yeah, 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 yeah.
2013. Yeah, so you were a Gigi fan?
I love like the nihilism of Gigi Allen, like just like the over the top. Like I mean, like rock and roll is breaking the rules and like doing like just what if the fuck you want and do a big suck off to everybody. I mean, Gigi Allen is like is he's just the top, like of it. Like you cannot do worse even until now. Like you cannot be more extreme than that. Like so that's what I like.
Yeah, because there's definitely like and actually it kind of relates. I'll even relate to Destroyer 666 to this. What I see Destroyer even to this day, I feel like there's a danger there. There's kind of like that mystique going on. I think that's a rare thing these days because you're talking about Gigi. Yeah, that was a whole different thing going on there.
Yeah.
But it's hard now. Like now these days with social media and stuff, you're always finding out this and like you're seeing your bands eating dinner all the time and stuff like that. I feel like it's kinda lost that magic from back in the day where you didn't know all this shit.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's funny you say that as well. Like even like I think social media, like it's ruined everything. Like even like in terms of like you see like Corpse Grinder, like the singer of Cannibal Corpse, for example, he has like a Instagram page, and you can see him like like with his kids and stuff, which is cool. Like I mean, I'm not a teenager now. I know like all these people, they have kids and everything, like family, but I still miss like when back in the day, like that you didn't know anything about their life, and you could still think like, oh, these fucking people were fucking extreme, were dangerous. Like, of course, like I was younger, so I was more like naive like about this thing. Like, and now I'm less naive, and I know like they're grown up, like and stuff. Still, like now, like when you're a kid, like, and if you listen to this kind of band, like you just have to go to on Instagram and you see like all the lives of this guy, like, and I didn't want to see their life, like I wanted to imagine like like how extreme they were, like like, and yeah, that kind of ruined all the magic. Like now, like
Well, that's actually like with this show, that's kinda why we don't do any video. We don't do
Yeah, of
anything
course.
like that, you know, we're not about that, and you're right, because when I was a kid, I thought King Diamond lived in a cave.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you know, I mean, I
Yeah,
thought,
yeah.
you know, I really thought these things, and there was a magic to it, and that is, you know, definitely has gone away now, and,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, of course, yeah.
you know, so Gigi Allen, I don't know what the hell what would happen to Gigi Allen in 2025, but,
Yeah.
you know, but yeah, you did the Deathless Bastards, and also, yeah, 2012, you also played in, another Australian well, you played with Assaulter and then, Necro-Wretch out of France.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I saw her like it was when I did this tour with Trenchell in 2010. I got along so well with a guy from Trenchell that I saved some money to go to spend some time in Australia. So in what in 2012 to hang out with them. When I went there, I met like Simon from Assaulter, and he used to play bass with Deströyer 666 in the early 2000. And so he asked me like he knew I was playing drums, of course, and he asked me like if I wanted to be a session drummer for them no, I think it was 2011. I went there, and he asked me if I wanted to join them for session drumming like in 2012, the following summer. For a tour. So yeah, I did this tour with them. It was cool, and we played 2 shows with Deströyer. And actually, that's where first time I met Keith from Deströyer, and that's yeah.
And Necro-Wretch too, is that the same time period you started jamming with them, was 2012-ish?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so. It's 12. Yeah, 2012. Yeah, yeah.
Also
Actually, I was a fan of the band, like, of the demo. I think was no really 2 demos and 1 EP, I guess at the time. And I was a fan of the EP, and I saw somewhere like, their drummer left, so I sent them a message like somewhere, and I said like, "Oh man, if you are looking for a drummer, like I love the music, so like I would really happy to do it." And yeah, that's it. So I did session drums for them like starting in 2012.
and also 2012, you start, with the project Demonic Oath?
Yeah.
Yeah, what was the idea behind that, and who did the logo for you guys on that band?
Actually, it's the same guy who did like the Perversifier logo. It's a guy from Brittany called Flog. His name, artist name is Flog. And so yeah, he did the logo as well. I really wanted something like just like death metal, like the old way. Like, and yeah, Demonic Off. It was yeah the same. Like I always come back to like my yeah when I start playing music with people, like you know, like okay, it's cool, but me like I really like to write music and to have the control of everything. And the same, like, no, I really wanted to do like some like death metal, like in the incantation, demigod kind of style. And yeah, I was still living in Finisterre, like the west of Brittany, like next to Brest. And yeah, I had like Deathless Bastard, and it was like more metal punk. But when it comes to do like death metal, like I didn't find anybody like to do it with me. So like that's why like I thought like yeah okay, let's do it all by myself, and that's it.
Yeah, you did a 4-song demo in 2012. Perversifier, you put out a full length also, 2013, Perverting the Masses, which I'm gonna play a song off of here in a minute. And there was a lineup on this release. You actually had Max Abomination of Nuclear Abomination and Ritual Temple, and a drummer, Glarong,
Yeah,
from,
yeah, yeah.
Nuclear Abomination.
Yep. Actually, there was a guy so I was still living in near Brest, and there was a guy I met through MySpace. And we were living in Rennes, and so yeah, I put this lineup together, and like so it was a pain in the ass in the beginning because I had to drive like 2 hours to rehearse with them. But yeah, as I told you, like we had nobody to play thrash, like you know, death metal, like next to where I was living. So like yeah, yeah.
You guys were doing live shows, right? You actually had, put a live lineup together at one point?
Yeah, yeah,
JD
we did the
Flagelator and Matt Butcher?
Yeah. Actually, the guy Matt Butcher, he did only one rehearsal with us. So, but after that, we had who was it? Fuck. Yeah, we had like Jeremy J. Deflagrator from Executor. He did the guitar with us some point as well. Session before.
And what did you guys do many shows, or did you guys do a couple?
Yeah, we did not many shows, but we did maybe like, I don't know, 10, 20 shows. I know we did like mostly in France, but we did 2 shows in Ireland with Vomitor. It was fucking killer. In 2013, I think. And it was the only shows we did like outside of France.
Why did the band end?
Good question. Actually, I think like I wanted to go further with the band, but we didn't have the same expectation with the other guys. They were more like they like to play music just for fun, like like in me, like I wanted something more serious. And yeah, I think I was just fed up with that, and I was already beginning to think of Venefixion. So it kind of so it has this like this same kind of, I would say, like same roots, like like early Slayer, Destruction, like kind of stuff, but more with more like more an evil side to it, like more death metal, like So yeah, just like just wanted to start something fresh, like.
Yeah, I'm gonna play "Raise the Black Fire" from the "Perverting the Masses" record from 2013. Where did you guys record this at? Was that another home studio?
Yeah, we recorded like in my home studio, like at the place I was living back in the day, actually, and we got mixed with a guy after. But actually, we got it mixed with a guy with who we record like the first Venefixion album. But yeah.
I'm gonna play "Raise the Black Fire," and we'll be back with Kev Desecrator after this track on the Tampa Morgue. This is Perversifier with "Raise the Black Fire." that was Raise the Black Fire from Perversifier. What band ended in 2015, you'd say?
Yeah, 2015. Yeah.
And you mentioned 2013 also sees the formation of the death metal band Venefixion. How did you get involved with Paul, aka F Goat Throat?
Yeah. Actually, his real name is Fabien. Fabien. It's actually Paul. It is last name, but whatever. We don't care. Actually, he was in the same circle, like like in Ren, the guy I met from Ren, like with who I was playing in the Perversifier. Actually, we had like we had a label that were organizing shows. So like it was the first time like really like I met like a bunch of guys like we were into like metal the same as me, like So so they were from Rennes, so like I was still living like far from there, but like I was going when I was going to race with Perversifier, so we were doing parties, like and it was cool, like for the first time I met like some real metalhead, like it was cool. And I met Fabian this time. Yeah, we got along well, like and we had the same taste in death metal and whatever. And yeah, we were talking about creating a new band, and but after in 2013, I moved to Australia with my ex-girlfriend for a year, and him he moved to Germany. So we were just talking like we found a name, and we were talking about it, but like we could only like start like started when I was coming back from Australia. So I was putting together riffs, like writing in Australia. He was writing the lyrics like in Germany, and it's only in 2014 when I came back from Australia that I record like I put the demo together and record all the instruments, and he did the vocals on it. So yeah, it was the beginning of Venefixion.
Yeah, and the demo you're talking about is the 4-track demo from 2015. And
Venefixion. Yeah.
Yeah, and that came out on Iron Bonehead Productions?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you also so it's you, W Cadaver, and then F Goat Throat, 2015. So I know in 2025, you guys kinda changed it up on the, Anointed in Blood, record EP, but who did the original logo for the band that you guys were using?
Actually, it's Fabian, the singer. He did the original logo, and after the one we are still using now, the one we changed in 2015 or 16, it's Chris Moyen. We did it.
And also, what, 2014, you were also doing shows with, Whip Striker?
Yeah, yeah, the same. Like I don't even know how we met, but yeah, the same. We were looking for a drummer for a European tour, and yeah, honestly, I don't even remember like how I got in contact with them, but yeah, we begin to talk like, and yeah, it was cool. Like I did tour with them in 2014, yeah.
And on that first, 2015 demo, the artwork was done by Jack Welch of Funeral Throne and, Tower of Flesh.
Yeah, he also did like he did the artwork for the first album as well, and he also did recently. He did like the design for a shirt. So yeah, he's close to the band. Like like he's we like to work with him. Yeah.
And then 2016, you guys also put out the Death Rights EP on 12-inch, Venefixion on Iron Bonehead Productions, 4 tracks, and you also added another guitarist, Joey of Hexecutor.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that was the first recording with him. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I was still playing drums in the band at the time, and yeah, we got Joey like 2016, yeah, for the EP.
So with Hexecutor too, 2018, you were doing live drums for them sometimes, filling in?
Yeah, I just did like a one tour with them because the drummer couldn't do it, and they are very close friends, like so yeah, it was a good experience as well. Like
And when is the first official, Venefixion gig?
It was a 2016 festival in Nantes. It was a very cool festival actually. Now it's not happening anymore, but it was with Ritualization, the band from France, Skeletal, Cauchemar, the band from Canada, and Occult Burial from Canada as well. Yeah, it was very cool first show. Yeah.
And with Venefixion, who's handling the lyrics for the band? Are you doing all the lyrics? And what is kind of like the inspiration lyric wise for that band?
So in the beginning, it was Fabien, like the guy with the former singer, was writing all the lyrics. And in the beginning, it was like subjects were like curses, like magic, like voodoo, this kind of stuff, like like spells, whatever. So second EP, we focus more on the death rights from Brittany, because we have a really strong culture, like where we're from. So like it inspired us like to talk about like all the legend of the death legend, like from where we're from and everything. But so in 2018, Fabien, he left. He went back to Germany. So that's where when we had like Roma, the singer, who is still in the band now. We add him in the band, and so now he's taking care of all the lyrics, and the lyrics are the topics are like black magic, like occult, like stuff.
And 2016, you also join up with Necro Wretch, with Ilmar, and then guitarist Vlad. Were you?
Yeah. So yeah, as I mentioned before, like I did some session drums for them in 2012, 2013. After I just stopped. Because I went to Australia and like and so I couldn't keep on playing with them. But we remain friends. So like when they wanted to be a four piece, like and do a tour. So they asked me if I wanted to join on guitar this time. But yeah, in 2016, like I went back to Necrowatch just for the tour at the time. But after, like I stayed like for a few years and I record an album with them, but on bass. Yeah,
The Satanic Slavery record you played
that's
on.
it.
Was that did you write any of that, or was that already written when you got in the
No,
band?
I just played on it, but I didn't write anything.
In 2007, I believe it was 2017, you did your first gig with Deströyer 666.
Yep.
Yeah, you mentioned when you met KK and stuff, and you were replacing Para.
Yep. Actually, I think it was 2016. I went to London to party, like with friends. And Keith was living in London at the time, and I met him in a bar. Like he was like DJing in the bar, and like so we talked a bit. Like he remember me like from when I was playing with the Salter, and we did some shows together. And he mentioned like Pera would maybe quit the band soon, so he asked me like if I wanted to learn the song and maybe join the band. I was like, yeah, of course. And so I started learning the song, but like I didn't have any news from Keith, so I was like, okay, maybe like it won't happen. And it was just like 1 year after, like he really said like, no, this time like Pera will leave the band, so like they needed me to fill in for the tour, and it was a tour with Belfegor. So yeah, end of 2017, and that's it.
And were you were a fan of, like, obviously Unchained the Wolves and stuff prior to that,
Oh yeah,
and,
of
like,
course, like
Phoenix Rising and stuff?
I'm a fan in the first place, like still is.
When you first go into that band, is it what? It's you, Roland, and Felipe?
Yep, yeah,
And you guys are obviously, I guess, 2017, 18, you guys are supporting the Wildfire album.
yeah. It was still the Wildfire album, yeah.
And, so you went, and when you became a full-time member, that's 2020? Would you say?
Actually, I think the tour was so this tour we did with Belfegor, so it didn't end up really well. And we ended up like doing only 5 shows instead of 17, but that's a different story. But like after that, like I was like I was a member of the band, but just like we did one tour with Watain in 2018 in the US, and I was not on this one because like they had to do like the visa, like to apply for the visa and stuff before I even joined the band. So like they already have had a drummer for this one. It was Jaro from Nocturnal Deceit. But since then, like yeah, I was I was the drummer, like a permanent member. Like, but no, Deströyer, but it's never the kind of band like we have a like, session member and they announce it like on a Facebook post or whatever. So it was just like within the band, like since the beginning, I was the drummer of the band, but it was just like not until like I recorded the album Never Surrender with them. Like maybe people like found out like I was the actual drummer of Destroyer.
You were also drumming for, at that time period, Belgium's Goat Torment in 2019,
Yeah, I was
2020-ish?
doing a bass for them.
Okay, so you're doing bass with them. Did you do a lot of shows with them, or was that just a small stint?
We did like a few shows here and there, but I had to stop because like just like I didn't have the time and I've already enough bands. But yeah, it was just like I was never a real member, but like just helping out, like and then they needed that show. So.
And then also Venefixion, about that time period, 2019, you guys put out a split with Belgium's Possession on
Yep.
Iron Bonehead.
Yeah.
You guys did a Grotesque cover on there. You guys did Ripped from the Cross, and I had
Yeah.
heard that that was like a big inspiration to Venefixion,
Yeah.
that
We love
band.
like we love like with Venefixion. I think we play death metal, but like we love like this period. We were not even born, but still we love this period. Like like end of the 80s, beginning of 90s, but just like where metal was just like it's death metal, but it was we sometimes you cannot even tell if it's death thrash or like black, like like it's just extreme metal, and yeah, so we love like all the bands of this period, and like of course we love the Swedish bands, but we prefer like yeah, Grotesque, Merciless, or Treblinka, it's kind of band instead of the usual like Swedish like Entomb, the member style. Like.
And with Venefixion too, what, 2018, Goat Throat leaves the band.
Yeah, he went back to live in Germany, so he was being too hard like to for rehearsal and stuff. So yeah, we decided like we didn't fire him. We just decided like a common decision, like like better like he leaves the band. Like
And you talked about you left, and that's what, 2019 is when you leave, Necro-Wretch?
yep, yeah, because like 2019, I was playing Destroyer 666 already, and like I knew I will have a lot of shows coming, so I didn't want to some clash, like so I prefer like to quit Necrowish.
Does that work? 'Cause I know you have, like, we're gonna talk about, Sepulchre here in a second because that begins around this time period too, but for you, again, I mean, Ed will tell you I'm a huge Destroyer 666 fan, been for many, many years, interviewed which, and I've interviewed KK, like, in a print zine probably, like, 20 years ago in
All right.
Tampa. Yeah, and, I mean, just love the band, man, is that so I know, like, priority-wise, is that your like I said, I know you have other bands, but is that pretty much like do you kind of build your schedule around what Destroyer is gonna do, or is it kind of like, how does that work for you?
Yeah, for me, like Destroyer is my main focus. So yeah, I kind of walk around like like with my agenda, like to what I have with my other band is like I walk around like a Destroyer agenda, like yeah. But it works like like except like for a few shows, like a guy like from Sweden, like he replaced me in Destroyer. But like apart from that, like yeah, it works. Like I find time for each band.
during that period, like the 2018, 2019 period, who are some of the bands that Venefixion's sharing the stage with?
Yeah, we played a lot with Ritualization, another band from France, killer band. Slaughter Messiah from Belgium. But I have to say, like, at this time, like, no, we did a few shows here and there, but like we didn't play like actively, like I would say, like I think it started more after the release of the first album. Yeah.
And also the 2020, you also become involved with the death grindcore band Profanation.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, it's Alexi, a good friend. We put this band together during the COVID shit, and like yeah, he thought about me. I put like he was writing all the music, putting some demo together, and he wanted to do some live show. So he thought about me. I was like, I listened to the songs. I was like, yeah, it's killer. Like, I really want to do it. And after I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I will have the time. And it was pretty convincing. So I ended up like, playing with them, like record the first EP. And yeah.
And now obviously 2020, you also decided to change the name Demonic Oath to Sepulchre. And at that time, how does John Whiplash and then Helene, do you guys pronounce it Ellen in France?
Ellen,
Or is
yeah.
it? Yep. And I know Cadaver was already, it was the first bassist. It was already in Venefixion with you, but how do you wind up with that lineup and why did you decide to change the name?
Actually, like just at the time was I think it was at the New Year's Eve, like 2020. I was with John Whiplash, that's the drummer of Sépulcre. Actually, we knew each other since the time I was playing with Perversifier, because at the time he was playing in the Infinite Oscillation, thrash metal band, and we used to play a lot of shows together. But when we were playing in France, like it was like kind of we were our buddy, like from the north of France. And he moved to Brittany with Hélène. And so like yeah, we just moved to Brittany, and like during the New Year's Eve party, like we talked, and I said, look, I have some death metal riffs, like we should try to do something together. And yeah, so that became Sepulcre. And the thing, because the riff in the beginning were all riff I had for Demonic Oath, so I kind of thought like, yeah, it was kind of the new Demonic Oath like formula. So like I say like so that's why I was saying we change the name and do Sepulcre.
Whiplash did the logo too, right, for Sepulchre?
Yeah, he does the logo and he's doing all the artworks as well.
How long does it take for you guys come up with the 4 tracks? I'm sure, like you said, some of it was left over from Demonic Oath.
Yeah.
For that demo, how long, like when you guys make the name change, does it take you guys to put that together, those 4 tracks?
I think that it took us like maybe a few months to put these tracks together. And in the beginning, we didn't have any plan, and we just thought like, we just want to release like one killer death metal demo, like and we see like we didn't have the plan to do more, but like we liked it, and we were living not that far from each other, so like it was easy for rehearsal. Also the thing like was cool because like during COVID, like like of course like everything was shut down, whatever, and so we couldn't like rehearse like with Venefixion, because we had some members like more like far and stuff like that. And with Sepulcre, like the easy thing was we were living like really close to each other, so it was easier to rehearse, and like so we put down like we put together like the first song like during like COVID.
And you mentioned that first demo, Ascent Through Morbid Transcendence, 4 tracks, and that right there, that comes out in 2020 on Invictus, and you obviously that relationship started years before for you.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, when we did the first demo, so I think we start playing together in early 2020, and yeah, I think we recorded the demo during the summer. So yeah, it was pretty quick. Yeah, we just did it like at home, like like just like no proper studio, like trying to together. And I think it's still it's different. And so yeah, when we were thinking about the label, like of course, like one of my first thought was like to do it with Direct from Invictus because it's one of the best underground label, big underground label, like active. And yeah, it was easy. Like I sent to him like the premix or something, and like yeah, I was really interested since the beginning, and like and that's it. Like, yeah.
The band's first show was actually a private DIY event on September 4th, 2021.
Yeah, because it was still like I don't know, I kind of lose track, but like in France, we had a lot of bullshit like lockdown. After you could like do show, but like on a chair or whatever, like with audience on chair, like no sitting down. And after well, it was like very a messy period, like like it was like everywhere. And yeah, so that's why like we had like some friends doing like DIY even like during this one of these lockdown time. And yeah, it was really good actually. It was a yeah DIY festival with only friends, and yeah, it was,
What was the name of it? Downfall of Chauvigny?
yeah, that's it, yeah,
And then 2021, you guys also played the Winter Rising Fest.
yeah. It was the first real, let's say, real show with the Sépulcre.
Then you guys did Chords of Chaos Festival in 2022. And then Sépulcre also puts out the 4-track EP titled Cursed Ways of Shield.
Yeah,
So you guys put out Cursed Ways of Shield, came out on a 12-inch vinyl on Invictus. It also came out on cassette on Indonesia, but that was you guys got screwed over on that one?
yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, a guy like contacted us, like the Indonesian guy, to do like some like tape edition, and the guy seemed serious. So yeah, we said yeah, why not? Like just in exchange, we wanted to have like some tape. We didn't have even ask for money. We just wanted some copies. And like yeah, just like the guy vanished. Like no, I think he did like the tape because we saw online like produce the tape, but like we never got it. And Maroka Patan, another band from Invictus, they had the same problem with the same label. So like yeah, we got ripped off. Like that shit happened.
So you actually never saw a physical copy yourself?
Nope, no.
And you mentioned Whiplash did the cover art for that. And when you're recording this, do you have an engineer involved, or are you recording everything yourself when you guys are
No,
doing
for this
Cursed
one
Ways?
we recorded in a studio. Actually, the same studio where we record like the first Venefixion album as well, and we also recorded like the last EP of Venefixion there. But yeah, he's a good friend. He has a studio like in a countryside in the middle of nowhere in France.
What's the name of the studio?
El Scala Studio.
And what's like for that for Sépulcre, what's the writing process? Are you pretty much creating the songs and handing the skeletons over to the other guys? Are you putting everything together yourself, or then?
Uh, I am the main songwriter. Most of the time, like yeah, I write all the music, and I do some demo at home with some programming drum and stuff. And after I send it to the other guy, so we arrange if we have to change some stuff. We arrange together, but like yeah, I'm the main songwriter.
For you, is it all the same, or what is more important? Is it the music, the lyrics, the art? Like what for Sépulcre? What is kind of the focus there that's more important?
Of course, the music always comes first for me, but like but still has to have how can you say, like has to be like coherent with the lyrics and like like so it's a full package of course.
And you're handling all the lyrics in Sépulcre?
Yeah, except in the album where the last we just like recorded recently, like Ellen like is a guitar player. She wrote like one lyric to one song. Yeah.
And when is Sépulcre's first time outside of France?
I think it was Belgium. Yeah, we played in Belgium with God Torment in beginning of 22 or 23. Man, I'm bad with with dates. But yeah, I think first time outside of France was in Belgium with Butterman. Actually, I was team playing bass for Butterman at the time, so I did like a double duty.
And also 2020, I do want to mention Venefixion puts out, which is a killer record, aside from Below.
Yep.
You guys entered the studio to record that. That comes out in 2021. It's the last album with Max and Jay Obscene.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, just between Max, we are playing together in a Perversifier before as well, and yeah, it's just like it's just life. We are still friends, but just like we don't have the same goal in music. Like in Venefixion, we begin to play some cool show, but that means like I mean, you can still have another a proper job playing with Venefixion. Like no, it's not like we're not touring all the time. Still, like like it's more serious, and he just wanted more like like that. He didn't want to play live that much, and he just wanted to rehearse like and like so we just like didn't have the same goal, but that's okay. And with Jay Obscene, like the guitar player, like he was playing in the Executor as well, and he moved to Poland. So like yeah, that's why he quit the band.
What was it? Rado? Am I pronouncing that right? Rado also leaves the band.
Yep, as well. Like yeah, he left. He was living in Paris, and like so he was also like already like a bit hard to read and stuff. And yeah, I think and he went back in the band like a few years after to play bass, but just like yeah, he left what he left just after the recording of the album actually, and went back on bass a few years later.
You guys are now a three-piece in that period, and you guys also added Thomas into who's a drummer in the French scene.
He's more. He used to play like a technical death metal band before. He also played in a black metal band called Ende. So yeah, with the Venefixion, I was always writing all the music, and in the studio, like I was playing drums and guitar. Actually, I was playing everything in the studio except for the lead guitar, and like I was playing guitar and drums in the studio. And live I was playing drums, but because I'm a guitar player in the first place and I was writing all the music, I always wanted to be a guitar player in live in Venefixion. So yeah, I met Thomas. So no, so yeah, it was after we did the record, like the side from below. That's when like like I wanted to switch to like to guitar. So like I met Thomas one, and he was interested to play in Venefixion. So yeah, he took the drum seat, and me I went on guitar at the time.
Guitar or drums? Like, what's your preference to play live?
The same, not really original, but like I like both. Like like kind of sometimes it's cool to be like on guitar, like because you feel more the connection with the audience, like and stuff like that. Sometimes it can be frustrating to be on drum, like you're just in the back. And for example, when I play drum, like it can be like in a little venue or a really big one. I don't really see the difference because I don't see like I just see like the first row and that's it, like that. But also it's comfortable and pretty rewarding, like to be like the foundation of the band, like live, like just like yeah, like you are driving the band, like kind of because you are doing the drum.
Yeah, the backbone.
Yeah.
And in 2020, you're also joined up with thrash metal band Scumslot. How did you get involved with that? Because you guys did what, a 2020 demo, High on Death, and then a 2022 EP, Knives and Amphetamines.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it's funny because like if you look at Metal Archive, like you can see like it's always the same group of friends, and we just like switching from band, like it's always the same. So it was with Leo. He was drummer from Caderic Fume at the time, and we ended up like I moved like 200 meters from where I was living. So we just started to jam, and we wanted to do like a kind of repulsion kind of death metal, kind of, yeah, mix of grind and punk and like yeah, we start this band, and yeah, it was just like for fun, and so yeah, and
What are you
we
guys
did
doing? How many live shows did you guys do? And is it pretty much done with now?
when I was in a band, like we did like maybe, yeah, 3-4 live shows, but yeah, but the same, like it was during like COVID and I think so, like
Yeah,
we couldn't play,
2020-ish period. And then 2021, Deströyer 666 camp, you guys enter Moon Tower Studios in Spain to record 2 tracks for the Guillotine EP, that came out on Burn Records out of Sweden. Yeah, and how was that experience, man? How is it, you know, when you're entering a studio with Deströyer, so for you, how would I put it? So is it a satisfaction? Because I always feel like when you're in a band, you know, it's always nice to get a recording with the band done, right? And was that important for you?
yeah, actually we entered the studio to record like the full album. We record like all the album from Never
Yeah, Never
Surrender,
Surrender.
and the same session we did like a Guillotine, yeah, with Guillotine and like some extra songs, and
Death in Berlin, which I'm gonna play
yeah,
here in a
yeah,
minute.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that's only on the 7-inch, and so with Deströyer, you know, obviously, like you said, the Never Surrender is what you're really recording, that whole record. Did you have a process were you part of the writing process with that? Or how does that work with Deströyer? Like, what is the
Um,
writing? Is it KK bringing you guys the songs, or how does that?
I would say most of the songs are were written by Kev. I wrote like one song, Savage Rise. Piper wrote 3 songs. All the arrangement, like, no, we did it together. We did it together. Because the same, like we did it in 2021, so we couldn't release like the song, so we're just like sending back and forth like some demo like we're doing, and when we entered the studio, we took like a full week before recording to release the album and like put everything together to arrange everything, and straight after that we recorded. So it was cool because we couldn't wrote. We were like every day for a week, we're just like only focusing on the album, so it was very fresh. And the week after, we could like straight record it. So it was cool process to it.
Before before the albums you recorded with Deströyer, do you have a favorite Deströyer record, or is there like, do you like them all, or do you have like a certain one where you're like, is it Wolves? Or I know this is kind of like, you don't have to answer this, by the way, but you know.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I would say like maybe my favorite maybe like it's more because it's like uh like more like also sentimental value kind of, because I discovered Destroyer when I was like 15 in high school, and first thing I listened was Cold Steel. So Cold Steel was maybe like still was one of my favorite, but yeah, close with Unchained the Wolves, I would say. But man,
How about
it's impossible because the same like Phoenix Rising, it has some many kind of songs as well, so it's hard to choose.
a great band, man? I mean, such a killer discography. Do you have like a favorite song you like to play live?
Man, I love to play Trial by Fire. Very emotional song to play live.
Yeah, and again, like when I always feel like whenever I've seen Deströyer live, I feel like you're really getting like a fucking true performance. Like it just, you know, it's very natural. It just feels very authentic.
Yeah, I mean that's what I like with this band. Like, you know, it's like you can hear a lot of different influences in the band. Like you have more like epic song, like also like more flashy rock and roll song. But the attitude of the band is always like, you know, just like no bullshit, no compromise, fucking rock and roll. You know, and, I love it.
Like a satanic Motorhead, I always say.
Yeah, kind of. You can say that.
You know, vibe to it. And on that record, you also worked with Javi of Graveyard and Wolfhead.
Yeah, yeah. Very cool. Cool guy to work with. Killer Studio. Yeah. Only good thing about this guy.
Yeah, how long was the sessions for Never Surrender? Like, how long did you guys spend in the studio for that?
I think I think me stayed so 1 week of like rehearsal, a few days of drum recording, and I think in total I stayed like maybe 2.5 weeks in the studio, and the guys stay like for 1 extra week after to do vocals and the end of the guitar. So I think it was 4 weeks in total.
You're gonna play Death in Berlin, which was the bonus track, on the Guillotine 7-inch that came out on September 2nd. And yeah, anything you could tell us about this track?
No, I think it's okay. Pretty catchy track, simple. Yeah, it's a good one.
So this is Deströyer 666 with Death in Berlin off the Guillotine 7-inch that came out on Burn Records September 2nd, and we'll be back with Kev after this track on the Tampa Morgue.
Let's drag them to the streets and execute them all. A blood-red boulevard of broken, fractured skulls. And with each death, we will sing to the glory of our King. And his word is Lord. The bloody hand of God. And his word is Lord. The iron fist of war. Let's hang them in the street from the city lights. An avenue of corpses. Let's make a Gotham state and watch the bastards fall. I am judge, jury, executioner. And his word is Lord. The bloody hand of God. And his word is Lord. The iron fist of war. Let's line the children up and shoot them one by one. 'Cause if they murder, it's sacrifice. Let's find their women and have a little fun. One more drink to death in Berlin. And his word is Lord. The bloody hand of God. And his word is Lord. The iron fist of war. And his word is Lord. The bloody hand of God. War, war. And his word is Lord. War, war. The iron fist of war. Blood, war, red, war, feel, war, rape, war, beats, war, kill, war, blood, war, red, war, feel, war, rape, war, beats, war, kill, war, kill, war, kill, war, kill, war, kill. The iron fist of war.
That was Deströyer 666 with Death in Berlin. And of course, you guys put out the Never Surrender record on Seasons of Mist, 9 tracks. Again, Moon Tower Studios, same sessions as we mentioned. Mastered and the Temple of Disharmony with Patrick Angle. And you guys did 2 videos for that record. So you guys did Never Surrender, that video. Anything you can remember? So what, that stage footage, what is that? That's not a live. Is that kind of like you guys practicing not in, jamming and not in front of a crowd?
Yeah, actually, it was in Belgium. We have a roadie, and he's from Belgium, and he could have like for free, like a killer live room, like I mean a proper venue, and like so yeah, we just like there's no real audience. We're just like playing the song, like and yeah.
What about the Guillotine video? That was so whose barn was that? Was that shot in?
It was like when we are racing with Deströyer, like for the first shows to come after like the release of Never Surrender. We're racing in Sweden at Felipe's place, and like we record the video there.
And whose idea was the noose hanging behind you?
It was Keith idea.
And how about is that Keith's chainsaw, or was that you guys like? Do you have any memories from that shoot? I should ask you that stand out to you from that video
I
shoot.
think it was because Felipe is living in a country, so like yeah, in the country you need to have a chainsaw and kind of stuff. Or it was Felipe's chainsaw.
Do you like shooting videos, and is that something you enjoy, or is it just kind of part of the
Yeah,
gig?
not really actually. I think it was more like the label, like we insist like to have some videos. We were not like really into it. Like it turned out pretty okay in the end. Like no, it's okay. But yeah, it's not like my favorite favorite thing to do.
You guys also put out the Bitterscorn 7-inch on Burn Records that had 2 tracks on it. And you guys also did a cover of whose idea was the Dio cover?
I think was maybe Felipe who bring this idea first, but it was just like in after the recording session, like we're just like having some beers and listen to music and like saying, yeah, why not covering this song of Dio? And yeah, it's good. Fucking killer song. So yeah,
Yeah, it's
great
I
effort.
Speed at Night from the Last in Line record from
Yeah.
'84. Are you a big, are you a big Dio fan, or, obviously go to Sabbath, and was that a thing for you growing up?
Actually, yeah, it's funny because like I want to say like growing up, but it was more like during my teenage years, like because for a long time, like for me, Black Sabbath was only Ozzy. Like it was kind of like when I got older, like when I was a teenager, or maybe now when I was maybe like 18, 20, like kind of discovering like the album with Dio as well. So yeah, of course, I'm a big fan of Dio, one of my favorite singers. Yeah.
Yeah, and for you, what was, like touring with Deströyer? You've done, obviously you've been in the band for a while now. Like highlight tours. What was your favorite tour you've done with Deströyer 666?
Favorite one. I would say probably the tour we did with Deprivation and Nocturnal Grave in 2019. Yeah, it was fucking amazing tour just because we're a bunch of friends and we knew each other from before. We respect each other's band, like we only killer band. So like yeah, it was fucking great experience. Like
Do you have a favorite festival you've played?
man, like, I cannot
Yeah, I'm
point
putting you on the spot, I know, 'cause you guys have played some killer shows, so I know it's
yeah, that's
kinda.
it. Like, we play so many shows, like, man, most of the time it's killer. Like, we have good hospitality. Like, it's amazing festivals. Like, so yeah, it's hard to tell. Like, like my favorite experience. Like, yeah, maybe like if you ask me tomorrow, I will have an answer. But like,
And do you find, because 'cause you've been playing for years now, with several different bands as we've talked about tonight, do you ever find that not that you take it for granted, but, like, now that you've done, like you play these festivals, is it kinda like not like a job for you, but do you still have the same does it still have the same effect on you when you walk on the stage? Do you still
yeah,
get that feeling?
yeah, we still have this fucking like like
Adrenaline or
yeah, adrenaline, like a bit nervous, like like. I think if you don't have that anymore, like it's time to quit. Like yeah, yeah. It's sometimes because like it's kind of it's very like exhausting to do like all this traveling, like like flying, waiting, like like this kind of stuff. Sometimes it can like like kind of put down your motivation. But when you're about to hit the stage and like and like like you have this adrenaline like kicking in and stuff, you're like okay, you kind of remember you why you're doing all that, like it kind of erase like all the shit you went through before, like with waiting at the airport or whatever. Well, it's a
Yeah,
bit cliche to say that, but like that's the truth.
well, the airport is would you have a like, what is the worst airport you've been in? Because I've been in a shitload, and there's some it's just like, well, probably the worst experience of all is probably the airport for you. Do you have is it Heathrow or
Man, I hate all the airport now, man, because I spend so much time waiting in the airport. Like I don't have like a worst airport. Like it just like all the airport was fucking. It's always the same thing. Like no, you have the same kind of expensive restaurant, the same. Yeah, it's just like
bullshit?
it's the same bullshit, man. Like yeah.
Are you more of a live guy than a studio guy, would you say?
I don't know. I think I like both because like I love like in the studio like it can be like stressing, like it's really like two different things. The thing I like in the studio like is like I love the process, like when you see like your music like taking form, like you can try different stuff, like it's an amazing experience as well. And live, like, I love to play live as well, but also like the thing like with live, I love it, but it can also be frustrating because like you have so many what can I say?
Shit that can happen?
Yeah, so many shit that can happen. Like you can have just like you have a shit like sound guy, like, and you have shit sound in your monitor, like just like you for the audience it can be killer, but like for you, like like you don't have a good time, like so just so the live situation can be or amazing or shit because just for little shit that can happen, like for example, like with Venefixion, we played in a Kev Desecrator festival, like in Germany. Amazing festival, like I mean, like we were very happy to play there. And like when we ran on stage, like the sound guy, like at the monitor sound guy, he doesn't give a shit of us. Like we're trying to make sign, like to like to arrange like the sound in the monitor, and he didn't give a shit. So like the sound was fucking loud, and we couldn't hear the drum. And I mean, you have to hear the drum like first, like to be like to be tight, So it was one of the worst show I did, like in terms of sound on stage. That's what I mean. Like sometimes you can really look forward to a show, like and when you arrive on stage, like all your expectation, like everything is ruined because like just like your shit sound and whatever. Like, but it can also be amazing, of course. But
No, you never know. And because you guys are supposed to actually, which I know it affected Venefixion too. You guys were supposed to play Metal Threat this year, and that fell apart for you for a lot of bands. Obviously, I mean, shit, we had Slaughter Messiah on here. We had a bunch of bands on who had the same issues, but
yeah,
and that's the thing. Like, I don't know if you're dealing with it. I mean, well, you guys have been around for a while, man. Everything now is like cancel this, cancel that, or whatever the hell. But so you guys didn't do Metal Threat. But you guys do have like coming up, you guys have with Deströyer, I'm still on right now. You guys have shows coming up with Midnight in January?
yeah. January, we are doing Asia, so we play in Bangkok, Taipei, and Tokyo. We did like so these three shows with Midnight. And that's cool because never been to Japan before, so it's good
I
to
was gonna
change.
ask you that.
It's good to change for a while, for a little while, because like when you play always in the same country, Europe or like it's good to have a change of scenery.
Do you know, I mean, obviously, you probably can't tell me, but do you have any, ideas if you guys will be returning to Lithuania this year?
Actually, next year, like after Asia, we'll stop live activity for most of the year. We have only one show booked in Czech Republic in June, and apart from that, we will begin to work on the new records.
Do you guys have any new songs written yet? Has Keith started working on stuff, or is
Yeah,
that
we start working on stuff like nothing set in stone, but like we have a few ideas and we begin to work on it. Yeah.
because you guys were supposed to play Steelfest this year too, right? But it's not gonna happen. Well, next year I should say, 2026. But you guys aren't doing that. What happened with that, or it just was the scheduling?
I just schedule thing like nothing. No. There's no exciting story behind it. It was just like schedule thing, and we just wanted to focus on the album. Most of was the main reason. Like we focus on working on new songs. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we mentioned Profanation earlier too. 2023, you guys put out Skull Crushing Violence 6-song EP on Iron Bonehead Productions, and you guys did a tape too on Noxious, I believe, in 2024 with that. And I'm gonna play Global Terror off of that here in a second. But what is the status of that band? Is it done?
Me, I just don't play anymore in the band, but it's just because of a schedule thing. Like, I want to focus on my band. We have a lot of show with the Deströyer and the thing with Profanation, they begin to play a lot as well. So it would have been too hard, like too many clash, like, and it sucked because I really love the band. I love the guy in the band, we're a good friend. But just like I had to make a choice.
I'm gonna play Global Terror. Anything you could tell us about this track?
Like we had a very good time recording this EP. It was a fucking great experience, and I really love the EP. I think it's great, and it had like really not everybody is a fan, but I like the production. Like it's a very raw, like really very it's not like a common production you have in metal normally, but because we record it in with a punk guy, and I think it gives like a different flavor to it, and I really like it.
Where'd you guys record it at?
We record in a studio called Chateau Vergonne in the Paris area. It's a studio from the drummer from Rix. I don't know if you know Rix. It's a French oi band. So yeah, it's a bit different. Like,
Are you a punk fan?
yeah, too. Yeah, I listen to punk as well.
Okay, I'm gonna play Profanation here, Global Terror from the Skull Crushing Violence EP that came out December 5th, 2023. And we'll be back with Kev Desecrator after this track on the Tampa Morgue. Fucking dead. And that was Global Terror from Profanation. And this takes us to 2025. Have you become involved with the black death metal band Invoketh? First of all, what is the lineup of the band?
So like I'm playing drums and did some vocals as well. I have a friend of mine like Matthew. He's doing guitar and he plays in Necro Blood. You also have a new band called Destruction Ritual. It's only a studio band for now. Yeah, and he also plays in Execution-Right. The bass player is Harold. He plays in Execution-Right as well. Just like I don't know, like I just wanted to. There was nothing playing in the beginning. Matthew, the guitar player, like we know each other since like 15 years, and we are very good friends. And he came to my place with Harold, just like because we live in Paris, so they like to come to Brittany to have more like a fresh air, like kind of. And like yeah, I had a few riffs, like not just like a simple riff, like Beharit style, kind of. And we begin to jam, and like after 2 hours, we had like 2 songs. We were like, yeah, why not like doing a demo? Like, yeah, we don't have any pretension, we don't have any plan. We just want to have something like just more like simple and raw, and just like because in our respective band, like it takes a lot of time to write music, to think of all the aspects, like whatever. So with this one, we just don't want to think about it too much, like just almost like a punk approach. Like we just like okay, like I do a song write a song in 1 hour, and that's it. Like we don't touch it. And yeah, we wanted to do like just a three piece, like simple riff, like kind of a gut lord demoncy stuff like that. Yeah, and
You
like
guys,
yeah, it's just told you, it's nothing. We don't plan on recording an album or whatever. We just want to do like demo, like with recording with whatever gear we have, just like not having like a proper polished sound. And but yeah, the next year, because it will be more quiet for me in terms of live shows, so we will do maybe one or two. We are like one show booked in March, and maybe we will do a few more, but like not the plan. We don't want to play a lot. Just like maybe at some selected gig with good bands, and that's it. But yeah.
so you guys have done no shows yet.
Now, the first one will be in March next year, and on the lineup with also Possession and Omega Vortex. So very cool band. So like
Very
that's
cool
it.
bands, yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. Like we're not like we have our bands next to it, so we're not running. Like we don't want to have like too many shows. And if we do a few, it's something like we've selected individual and like good bands, and that's it.
Yeah, and you mentioned you guys put out the 5-song demo, Sabbatical Obsession.
Yeah.
You guys put that out, and I thought was cool was, on the cover, it says "Make black metal offensive again," and
Yeah.
do you think that's something that's definitely like kind of missing these days? Like as we talked about earlier, like we said, you can see all your favorite artists now having sushi or
Yeah, of
whatever
course.
the hell they're doing. And even from back when we were growing up, the bands, of course now there's 5 million bands. Where back in the day it was not like that. But do you feel like that's definitely something that's missing?
Oh yeah, of course. We're not naive. Like we put that on the demo. Like it's more like a gimmick, because we know like it's impossible to make black metal offensive again, because like so many aspects changed from back in the day. But still, like we want to make a statement. Like like we fuck all this like wannabe like band, like we pretend to be. I mean, it's okay. Like all this pretending to be black metal band. We just like when we want to play for a safe space or whatever. Like, man, I don't give a shit of what people think and what they want to bring to the music, but don't mix it with black metal. Like, for me, black metal, it doesn't go with like being safe or being like whatever, like in the bush, like, So
Right,
like
apologizing and
we are
stuff.
just a demo band. Like we did like 100 tapes, so we want like a different, but like still like we want to make an homage of what the roots of metal and black metal and metal in general. Like we just that's so that's it. Like that's what we want try to convey with this band.
And anybody who wants to get a demo from Invoketh, where can they go to? Through the labels?
Yeah, we can send a mail to one of the label because it's a collaboration between two labels. And yeah, and I guess some demo, some distro have the demo, but like I don't have the list here. But like yeah, if you make a research online, like it shouldn't be hard to find.
And then 2025, Venefixion puts out the band's latest release, an EP, Anointed in Nazarene, which we actually played a track earlier from. We played Nocturnal Deceit. And this comes out also again on This came out on Iron Bonehead Productions on cassette, and I believe it was 7-inch through Spike Colt Records.
Yep, actually it's a collaboration between two labels as well. It's Obscurity of Error label, so it's the same label that co-released the tape of Invoketh, and actually it's the label of Matt, the guitar player of Invoketh. So yeah, and Spike Cult is the label of MKM from Entheos, the French black metal band. And yeah, it's not an active label, so it's just like a reactivate his label just when he wants it, like when he really likes a band, like just for one release. So and he chose to collaborate on this one. So it's an honor for us to be on the MKM label. Yeah.
And the artwork on that was done by Alexander Chardin,
Yep.
vocal with This Fire and X6 Rights. What made you guys decide to, like you guys used on the logo for this one? You guys didn't use the actual logo. You guys used just like a plain text. What was the idea behind that, or was it just the way it
Yeah,
happened?
there's no proper like because on the tape like we still use the logo, but well, I don't know. We just like with the way the layout was done for the EP. Like yeah, we thought it was looking better. Like with just a normal font. So yeah, nothing. We still keep our logo. Just like we were just wanting to have something different for this one.
And then you guys do, September, you guys did shows with Hell Militia in 2025. You guys played in June, you guys played Black Chaos Assault with Germany's Pighead and Vortex of End from France. You guys played you guys played in Belgium, that festival, right? And then you guys played Old Grey Festival in Romania in
Yeah.
October.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys but on that one though, right, you guys had so what was it, Alex and Thomas were not available for that show? So
Yeah.
you guys had some guys fill in for you?
Yeah, it was actually the bass player who fill in for Alex was it's W Cadaver, and he was the first Venefixion guitar player. Like he did like he played
The
on the
demo and
demo,
the
and
EP.
so yeah, he plays in Necrowitch now, and so yeah, old friends. So like it was cool to have him back in the band, and the drummer was Thomas. He plays in Ritualization, and he used to play in Entaos. He played in Merrimack, a lot of killer French band.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how is the French scene, man, how would you, I know the Tampa scene or the Jersey scene, which I spend time in, like, for you, how would you explain for people who don't know the French scene, like, through the years of you growing up in it, what would be your reflection on that?
I think we have a pretty strong scene. Like I would say, like quality over quantity. It's not like we don't have like billion band in France, but still like I think we have a lot of killer bands, and with each band their own character. Like we are all like different, but like with their own identity. So yeah. I think we have a killer scene.
And, so you guys do have some stuff set up for Venefixion, but I heard you guys are not gonna do many shows in 2026, but you guys are gonna play 1,000 Lost Civilians in Brussels?
Yeah, actually, next year it will be the same as Deströyer for Benefiction. It will be like more like working on a new album, and like, because we all have a busy life, like with all like some people in the band, they have family. We have a lot of different bands, so we cannot if we accept like every live show, like we we can never like work on new material. So we decided like next year be more quiet, like on live show and like to work on the next album. But yeah, like we decided just to do like only selected show like killer killer lineup, like and the one in Brussels, like Solar Civilization.
You got Portugal too, right?
Yeah, we have. So in February we have Belgium, and it's with Negative Plan playing, Blasphemy, and a lot of killer bands. So we know the promoter as well, and we are good friends. Of course, we couldn't refuse. And
Yeah.
we will do like SWO in Portugal, killer lineup as well. And we wanted to do this festival since years. Like every year we see lineup, it's always killer, so we wanted to play there. And it will be part of a mini tour we will do with Balmog, a band from Spain. We played together in Spain this year, and we got along pretty well. So like we had the idea because he knew the promoter of SWO Fest in Portugal. So he proposed like the package of the two bands and for the festival. And next to that, we will do like 3 shows in Spain. So yeah,
Yeah, I
so
saw that festival. You guys are
so we
playing with like Exhumed, right? And
yeah, and
Bulldozer.
Beherit, Revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking great lineup.
That's awesome. And you mentioned new Venefixion music. Do you guys have tracks written already? And what's kind of the plan?
Yeah, I have almost like all the album is written like for the music, and like so now we have to, of course, to arrange everything, play together. Like Roma has to come up with lyrics, but yeah, it's we have some song written already. So yeah, cool.
And we're going to talk about the upcoming Sepulchre record, and then we're going to let you get out of here. First of all, man, I know you guys played. So really fast though, 2024 was the first time that Sepulchre played in Germany, right? At the Metal and
Yeah,
Hellfest with
yeah.
Butcher and how was that experience?
It was cool. Actually, I know the promoter, Florian. He runs the label Dying Victim. So it's more like thrash heavy metal label. But he's a fan of any kind of metal. And so yeah, he invited us in to play at this festival, and it was it was great experience.
You guys played Temple Fire Festival also in Belgium,
Yeah.
2024.
Yep.
You guys played Forest Fest open air
Mhm.
with Black Altar and Ancient Rites, Nocturnal.
Yeah.
You guys did that. And then you guys also played this year the Backstage in Paris in April of 2025.
Yeah.
And upcoming wise, you guys also we're talking about Sepulchre. You guys also have already booked a show though, right? You guys are going to be playing Hole in the Sun Underground Metal of Death Festival in Germany with like Adorier, Bewitcher. You guys,
Yep.
So you guys are doing that this upcoming year?
Yep. It's the only show we have booked for now, but we hope like with the new album release, like we will get some other offers. We see.
And we're going to talk about the new album now. And I did forget to mention though, you guys haven't had with Sepulchre, you guys haven't had too many lineup changes. But in 2023, RG left the band and was replaced by Leo or LB.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why was the change made, and how is the chemistry in the band now going into 2025 and the new record?
Actually, the change was just like because Roma, the ex-bass player, is also the singer of Venefixion, and he plays in Necrowatch, and the same like Necrowatch. They begin to have a lot of show, and like schedule-wise, it was hard for him to have like Venefixion, Necrowatch, and Sépulcre, so he chose to leave Sépulcre. But we are great friends and like no drama in there. And Leo, the new bass player, I used to play in Scumslot with him. He used to have Cadaveric Fumes with Roma as well. So it's always the same people like like
Yeah, it's a big circle, as we always say.
So yeah, we are friends since a long time. So because he used to play drums, he still plays drums in Scumslot, and used to play drum in Cadaveric Fumes. But in the first place, he's a guitar player, so like and the bass player as well. So yeah, it was just like natural for him to join the band.
Nice. Yeah, so yeah, you have what? So it's LB on bass, JW on drums, HW on guitar, and you on the Volks and guitar.
Yeah.
And you guys, again, you guys just were in Blackout Studios in
Yeah.
Brussels to wrap up the new record. I know you guys still got some finishing touches you guys are doing on it. It's coming out on Invictus Productions. What can you tell us about the new record? And you worked with a producer, Jamie Bazier?
Yeah, actually, so we did like we used like 2 studios for this album. So we record like all the guitars, bass, and drums. We record in the El Scala studio, the same studio we used with for the EP before, and we use it with the Venefixion as well. But for this one, we wanted to change a bit. We wanted to have it mixed with somebody else. And actually, Jeremy Bezier, like yeah, the producer, he's a live sound guy as well, and he's doing sound for Primordial, the Irish band.
Oh yeah.
A very cool, good sound engineer, and like so he did it happened like he did some live sound for Sépulcre, and he really liked the band, so like he said like, oh man, I wish that we could work together in a studio setup as well, like so when we thought about doing the first full length, like so yeah, I really wanted to work with him because I love this guy like as a human being, and I love like his way of approaching music. So yeah, so we went back to the studio, Escala studio, to record because it was easier for us because it's in France, the studio, and like he's a good friend, so we record like most of it in the studio. And after we went to Belgium to record the vocals with Jeremy, and he will take care of the mix and the mastering of the album. Actually, like it's really like it's almost finished. Just before I joined like the show, I was talking with Jeremy, like was like putting final touches to the mix. So I guess like yeah, for next week we have it ready, and like we're working on the layout on the pic on we did already the photo session. We just everything. It's a lot of work at the moment because it's just like everything is coming together. We like like a lot of back and forth between the member of the band and like Jeremy and like but yeah, I hope like we will have it done in January, and we can send it to Darag like as soon as we can, and like hopefully we'll have it out in spring next year. I hope.
And you guys have again, I know if you guys can't announce anything yet, because I don't think it's been announced to Invictus yet. Do you guys have a title for the record?
Yeah, the title will be, it's a long one. It's a Cryptic Temple of Otherworldly Aberration.
Nice. Who did the artwork for you guys for the cover?
It's still John, like the drummer. He takes care of
Whiplash.
the artwork. Yeah.
And how many tracks are on the record?
7 tracks. Yeah.
7 tracks. And again, you don't have to tell us what you know, but can you give us any titles for the title tracks for the any of the songs titles?
Yeah. So what's no, actually, I will leave it as a surprise.
Yeah, it's fine, man. Yeah, I totally get it. And altogether, how long did you guys spend in the studio for this one?
We spent a week like doing like the guitar, bass, and drum. After we did a bit of a few extra recording, like at the record rehearsal place at home, like just like little details, like, and we did like 1 day and a half for the vocal. So yeah, in total maybe like yeah, let's say like 9 days of studio, like yeah.
Nice, man. I want to thank you for coming on the show. I know that you've never done one of these, and when I first talked to you, I could tell. I'm like, he probably doesn't want to do it. He probably is like, but was it that bad, really?
I wouldn't say it was that bad, but like yeah, it definitely like make me like how we say.
Have to remember a bunch of shit you forgot.
Yeah, that's the same. Like it just confirmed like that I'm not really like the best guy to talk like in a live situation, but like yeah, I just I just wanted to give it a try, like, So
No, man, I appreciate you coming on, dude, totally, and, people who wanna find obviously, you got a lot of projects, but anybody who wants to find Sepulcre, merchandise, where's the best place to send them?
Uh, I think if you want some merchandise, like you have to head to Invictus shop because we don't have any more merch left. So we'll wait like when the new album will be released, like to press some new merch and like to come with it. And, yeah.
And how about Venefixion?
Uh, you can order stuff from our Bandcamp. We still have a few items, shirts, patches, a few tapes. Yeah,
And Deströyer, you can find a lot of Deströyer
yeah.
stuff
Just
a
like
lot of
go
different
to see
places.
Mist. Like we just sell stuff at the shows, but we don't have like a Bandcamp or.
I know, dude, actually, I was so fucking bummed, man, when you guys played in, Vilnius, you guys had no merch. I couldn't
Yeah,
believe it.
we are not the most professional and and the most commercial band. Like so, yeah, but yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
remember that. I got there, me and my wife, and I was like, "Oh, fuck yeah," and I went to the merch booth, there was no merch booth. I was like, "Ah,"
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
a great
I know that
great show, dude, I
that
gotta say
sucks. Like,
again.
but so you live in Lithuania?
So I live part-time in Tampa, and I married a Lithuanian woman, and we have 2 kids, so we have t like, we have a place in Tampa, we have a place in Kaunas, Lithuania, which
Okay,
is
cool.
about an hour from Vilnius. Anything you wanna say on your way out?
Just thank you for the invitation. Like as you said before, like yeah, I'm not used to do it. It was the first time, so like yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of I don't know what to think about it, and I'm a bit shit of talking chronologically, like remembering all the stuff. So like I hope it was not that bad. So yeah.
That's always the hardest part, yeah, it's like a fucking timeline, but but yeah, man, so I'm gonna play on the way out of here, which we'll say goodbye to you, in a couple minutes, but for everybody else, I'm gonna play Of Wolves and Ghosts from the Venefixion record, Aside from Below, that came out on Iron Bonehead Productions in October of 2021. Anything you could tell us about this track?
No, I think it's a killer track, and it kind of summarizes like what Benefixion is. It has all the elements of Benefixion in it. So yeah, good choice.
And again, Kevin, appreciate you coming on, man.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
Yeah, and everybody else, this is Venefixion with Of Wolves and Ghosts from the album Aside from Below that came out on Iron Bonehead Productions, October 1st, 2021. We'll be back with me and Ed on the Tampa Morgue after this track.
A blooming seed, spirit of the foulest wind. Persistent on its dance.
kill a few wolves and people believe in ghosts.
I love the darkness and the shadows. Time is an abyss, profound as 1,000 nights.
And that was Venefixion with Of Wolves and Ghosts. And I want to thank Kev Desecrator for hanging out with us tonight. And Ed, episode 118 in the books.
The number keeps climbing. It just keeps climbing.
Unfortunately, so does our ages. But yes, that is true.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, man. I got to say, dude, another first time guest who's a guy who's never done an interview before, man. So, what a place to do your first one here, with the fucking storyline we have. But yeah, great guest, man. Another show done. Fucking what do we have next week? We have Gene from Angel Corpse, Perdition Temple, Malefic Throne coming on. We'll be talking to him. Still some other stuff next week we're gonna do too on the show. So we're gonna have a little more time with me and Ed also, I believe. So Ed, I mean, what's up, man?
Just another episode in the books, brother.
Yeah, definitely.
We just keep this train rolling, man. It's we were just talking the other day. It was like, wow, man, we had one potential somebody coming on, and then all of a sudden it just, the emails start flying in. So
yeah, well, like I said last week, or it was the week before that we were talking, and we were saying that we didn't want to announce because we have like stuff going on, but there was nothing in the books yet set. And then 2 days later, it's like, then we have 4 guests. So we're trying to try to figure that out. I know we have the guys from Pest out of Germany coming on the end of the month. We got Gene next week. We got some other people we're working on that we will not announce until it's recorded. We don't want to jinx ourselves.
No, we do not.
Yeah, and then you think about it, then we have January, and then I'll be in Tampa on February 1st for 16 days, and we'll be at the Metal Museum in Tampa, I'm sure we're gonna set up some contacts there to come on the show eventually. Yeah, so I mean, it's
a lot of
crazy.
Shit in the works, man. A lot of shit in the works.
And fucking nuts, man. 2026 is coming up because we started in 2023. Me and Ed started this show without a clue what we were gonna do. It was really just a fucking in the afternoon one day, we're like, "Hey, let's try this." And, to some people, 118 episodes may not be a shitload, but these episodes are definitely like long, deep dive interviews. It's I gotta say, man, I'm proud of what we've done, and we do it for the love of music. We don't, nothing else. Believe me, I get a bill every month to do this show. So,
you and me both.
Yeah, so we're paying to do it. So it's like, to get a band like, to get like Kev Desecrator tonight, again, I'm a big Deströyer fan. We've had a few guys related with that band. We had Chris Volcano on a couple weeks ago. We had Rob from Lucifericon, who obviously was in the band at a time period too. It's always cool to get those kind of bands on here. And, like I said, man, we've been fortunate. We've had some great guests. You talk about Terry Butler's, fucking Jeff Manis. I mean, you can't even King Fowley. The list goes on. But, I am proud of us, man. I really feel like we have really built something, whether people, like I said, man, we've had the listeners. We have a great amount of listeners now, which at first, man, we were doing it for like fucking 20 or 30 people. That shit has changed. And Ed, one thing that people may not realize is we don't really, we've had a few guys, maybe like, and I'm talking under 5 guys that we got offered from a publicist, but we are booking these bands ourselves. Like we are reaching out and getting these artists to come on, not through publicists. There's nothing wrong with publicists, but we kind of have done it ourselves. And that, it's a lot of work, man.
But we did that for a reason because a lot of times people try to strong arm us into doing it
20
around
minutes
their timeline, or however, 20 minutes or this, and then we just,
it's not how the
we are
show's
not.
built.
We've only done it twice, that I can say,
Yeah,
where we were forced to, we wanted to get the guest on, and we did the limited amount of time,
like Udo, let's not lie.
U-
Like, we don't
U-
have
U-
Udo's phone number. We didn't call him Udo and be
No.
like, "Hey, dude, you want to come on?" Like,
Yeah,
we'd set
no,
that
that
up through the
was-
publicist.
but
that was the
Udo was
rules.
one, and the other one was Kyle.
Yeah, from
Thomas.
X-Order, which is a shame, man, because it's still a killer interview, but,
And
it'd
it
be
got,
great to
and I remember it got cut off. He had
After
to
an
jump.
hour.
He had to jump, and
to another
to
interview.
me, it was like, man, I don't know, man. To me, it was like, it would have been so much better if we just were able to have this type of freedom like we do with those guys. But again, it was either what we got or nothing. So
And that's why we don't
took
go
what
through
we got.
publicists. Yeah.
Yep, 100%.
And there's some great publicists, like, fucking Dustin, who we've dealt with Dustin before. He's always cool, man, because I'll tell Dustin, he's a Florida guy who does he works with a lot of bands. And I'll even say to the guys now, Ed, I'll be like, "Hey, man, like, can we get," like, say they have time blocks. So people who don't know this, when you're offered interviews, you're given time blocks. Like, okay, this guy can do a half an hour, this guy can do whatever, 40 minutes. So if we're going to attempt to bring these people on, we'll say, "Hey, can we grab a couple of time blocks? Like, for us to do this,
To
that's the way
extend
it
it,
has to
so
happen."
we have
Yeah,
it
so
ready to go. Yep.
yeah, so that's some of the behind the scenes shit that you guys don't have to deal with. But like I said, me and Ed are always working hard on this. And also, again, which we mentioned at the beginning of the show. Next week we're gonna talk a little bit about Ed's kicked up one of the old bands, Contorted, that he was in, so we'll talk all about that. We discussed a little bit of that in the beginning of tonight's show, but again, we'll cover that a little bit more next week. But Ed's gonna be getting busy. Ed's got this new Monstrosity record coming out. There's touring coming up. So and Ed is gonna be doing this from the road, which will be interesting. We'll be doing a lot of the call-ins from hotels and stuff like that. When Ed's banging hookers, we'll have to take a little break, and he'll have to.
Great.
I don't think your wife's listening this far in.
She ain't listening to none of this, but that doesn't mean somebody that she knows doesn't. Thanks, brother.
And Ed's not banging hookers. There's ladies of the night, we like to call them. But yeah, it's going to change a lot of shit, Ed. You're going to be, but it'll be cool though, because there'll probably be a lot of people hopping on here for a little bit that we don't expect sometimes.
Well, I thought about, like, when we did that tour at your Origin, how much time I had during the day, and then that kind of, in Europe, which there is something scheduled for Europe next year. I don't have the time yet, but when I do, you will. That's closer to your time frame, so it almost works out
Yeah.
a little closer, because I'm 7 hours behind you, and then, like, we had one day where you thought Portland was
Oh,
3
fucks me
hours
up, yeah.
ahead of me, which is behind me, and the whole time thing just got all fucking whacked. And and that's another thing people don't realize, like, Australia is even,
Those are the hardest ones, I think, so far.
dude,
Right?
they are, because they're even fucking way I can't keep up with it. So yeah, it's definitely, and the problem is that sometimes it could be 4:00 in the morning for me.
Yeah. I've done
Or
a
you're
couple of those
getting up at
crazy
4.
fucking
Yeah, you're
ones,
getting up
yeah.
at 4, and which is, late, nighttime for me. So yeah, it sucks, man. But people don't realize what we go through to sometimes do these shows. I mean, the time, and it's nobody's fault. Obviously, it's our deal because of our situation. But
Well, February
Yeah.
will be different because we'll be in the same
we will be.
town for once. It's been a while since, actually last November, but we'll probably pre-record a couple of shows though. We have a couple ideas we've been tossing around, so but it'll
Some
be nice
guests we're
to
working on.
yeah, guests we're working on. We're just trying to get it all figured out, and Ed had mentioned the new Monstrosity. We're working on something related to that guest wise, because Ed is the constant in-house Monstrosity guest. But we're working on some stuff outside
Yeah,
of
you
that.
don't want to talk to me.
You know,
The fuck do I know? I don't
of course I want to talk to you, man.
know. I know. No one
But
wants to talk to me.
I say, Ed, we'll be back next week with Gene. Everybody, we know we're usually we get the show out on Monday, or again, scheduling. We have to figure out when we can get the guests on. Just makes sense. So that's why we don't have a set schedule.
Yeah, we put it up once a week. You can plan on once a week. You'll get
usually once a
an
week.
episode.
Yeah.
And you still
Yeah.
haven't gotten one with just us. in probably 8 months. So be
Yeah,
happy
it's
about that.
crazy.
'Cause
Yeah,
you don't want
next
to
week
hear
we'll hang
just
out a
us.
little bit longer, I have a feeling, so we'll figure all that shit out
Yeah,
too.
it's all good.
But where can they find us?
Everywhere podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, everywhere. I've seen it everywhere. YouTube, only audio. thetampamorgue at gmail.com for correspondence, and definitely check the Instagram. Tony is all over that shit, and Facebook can suck my ass.
Yeah, I fucking hate. It's funny. A lot of MySpace talk tonight, man. Brings me back, to the
Yeah.
MySpace days, yeah. So I mean,
It sucks
it's,
because the early days of Facebook were great, and now it's just
now it sucks.
all it is just a timeline of garbage. At
Yeah,
least
it
with
really is,
Instagram.
dude.
Instagram is literally shorts. Really, you don't see full-fledged stories about garbage. So
If I can advise anybody anything, turn off the news, fucking close down your Facebook, and
yep,
go outside because the world sucks if you haven't noticed. And it ain't getting any better anytime soon. So
Yep.
that's why hopefully this is an escape for a lot of people who are into this. I would get it. You have to be ready to listen to some fucking deep interviews to listen to this show, but hopefully it's an escape from the real world because the real world does what, Ed? It sucks.
it sucks.
Yes, we are all fucked. So go out and buy your $1,000 groceries and fucking go smoke your whatever and just but turn off the computer, turn off the news because you have to. Because me and Ed, I'll tell you, me and Ed outside of the show, we talk all the time about shit. But you know what? Both of us are sick and tired of everything, and we actually, Ed, I can honestly say that we've probably talked. We talk outside of the show all the time. Me and Ed are, we fucking are always going back and forth. We've stayed away from the real world the last couple weeks, so
Yep.
we've kind of just kept to just regular bullshit. Like, hey, dude, how you doing? Check out this album. Check out that.
I've got
watch
it to
this
where,
game.
as you know, I don't even have to leave my house.
Yeah, Ed's got his.
I've got my fortress of solitude set up with gym equipment and cold plunge and
Cold
hot tubs and
plunges and all these
saunas.
things.
I don't have to go nowhere if I don't want to. I did go to the gym the other day. I told you, for the first time in 2 weeks,
Yeah,
and that almost didn't end very well. So
angry Ed almost came out. He almost beat the shit out of a
Man,
guy using three fucking
It
machines.
wasn't angry at it. It was actually laughing hysterically at absolutely ridiculousness. And the guy was getting mad because I was laughing at him. And that's his fault because he was
Yes.
ridiculous. He was wearing a fucking gold watch and sunglasses and a fucking Lakers
Oh, I
jersey
hate
with the
that.
word legend on top for LeBron, walking around flexing in a gym using three machines at the same time. You can kiss my fucking dick, dude.
It's always the worst. And anybody, if
kiss
you're
my
at the
dick.
gym, man, put down your fucking phones. If you're going to text, go stand in the corner, but don't
But
take up
even
three
the
machines,
phones
four
are one
machines,
thing.
5 machines.
Yeah, thinking that you have the ability to pick 3 machines that you get to revolve around and nobody else can use them. Yeah, unless he was wearing a purple shirt, so I thought maybe his name was Planet. His last name was Planet because get the fuck out of here, bro. I mean, I was laughing at him so hard. I know he wanted to fucking. I know he
Yeah,
wanted to
so
snap.
don't be that asshole, right? So
Yeah,
as you can see, me and Ed are burnt. So again, if you made it this far,
I'm
thank
not
you
going
for
to the
listening.
gym. I'm going out back.
Yeah, I'm gonna go feed some kids, man. So I gotta go
Yep.
feed some children and spend some time with the wife. But everybody, first of all, Kev Desecrator, if you happen to be listening still, man, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. Thank you for making us the first show you've actually come on, maybe the last, who knows. But yeah, we'll keep everybody up to date too when the new Sépulcre record comes out, and of course the new Deströyer 666 and Venefixion and all that good stuff. Next week we have Gene from Perdition Temple, Angel Corpse, Malefic Throne, etc. And Ed, anything else you got?
No, I got nothing. I just wish I lived on a farm in the middle of nowhere. Smallville, somewhere, anywhere. Just
Well, don't worry, the robots are coming to move you out. They're taking over. You'll be microchipped, and your ass will be sent out to the fucking
Awesome.
fields because we are the minority now.
all right.
Robots will take over. But yeah, or
AI for the
drones,
win.
right? I have seen actually really fast before. I will say I saw Slasher Dave from Acid Witch posting about this recently. That the drones are actually delivering through the neighborhoods now in some areas, and that to
Yep.
me that's fucking scary, dude. Amazon drones dropping off your shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how, because I there's an actual fucking human that can't get my address right. Like,
exactly. How's a machine going to get it?
That's what I figured. I look one day and I'm like, it says delivered, and I look and my house is blue and the house they delivered to was yellow. I'm like, yep, that's a fail.
You know when they'll get it
Yeah.
right? When they're dropping the bomb on you.
Yeah, that's it.
That's when they'll get it right. But everybody, thanks for listening to the Tampa Morgue, and we'll be back next week. And 118, back with 119 next week. Peace, Ed.
See ya.
This is King Fally from Deceased, and you just listened to another episode of the Tampa Morgue. Tune in next week and stay fucking dead.